Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
Our show at the Crack.
Oh, yeah.
He had those glasses that weren't even glasses. They
You
just,
guys
like,
had him
sat
at the
below
Crack?
his-
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had some deep cuts at the Crack,
You
actually.
really, no, you really
Yeah.
did. I've
I
seen
mean, that
those.
place sucked, actually.
Yeah, no. That
Well, the
place
venue
not
was
great.
not great.
Yeah, it was
well, we
not
weren't
good.
talking shit about it before because it ended up being, it closed.
Yeah.
Its biggest problem was probably that it didn't have food. I mean, like, you can't be a bar
They
that...
didn't have food.
Yeah, no food.
No, yeah.
That's
you would-
nuts. For
every
as
time-
big as it is, nah, that's unacceptable.
We would always
Absolutely.
order pizza from across the street and bring it over and leave it on a table so, like, there was something for people to eat.
I don't like that. You know what? You know what does that too? Bentwater and Lynn, but Bentwater's solid because they're like,
That's like a brewery, though, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So at least they have an excuse not to have food.
This place was not a brewery.
No, if you're literally a bar, you got to have like appetizers. You don't have to have full course meals. Just have appetizers.
Something.
Like the Jungle. I mean, look at the Jungle. It's
Right.
It's
Jungle
small.
has solid food.
Right. No, they got solid food.
Yeah.
They do,
I like
yeah.
their sandwiches. They got solid food there.
You
Hell
gotta
yeah.
have something.
Right.
At least chicken nuggets.
No, because when people
Yeah,
are
dude.
drinking, they're gonna get hungry.
100%.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
They go hand in hand.
course.
We kind of cold opened on this one, so we'll snip and snap here and there. but
Are we rolling?
we are fully rolling. Yeah.
All right. Word. What's up?
I mean, so we can just jump right in, or we can keep that however you want. I mean, this part I'll take out, but
No, leave it. It's all hot.
Yeah.
it is all hot. Actually,
The mics are hot. The block is hot. Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah. I mean, I
guess we're here. Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
We got repeat.
Yeah,
I
if
think
you know,
this is
you
the
know.
first time. This is the first time we've gone on someone else's podcast, and they came on ours. You know, it's
That
a
is
little,
the first time.
We
So
did a little
hell
trade
yeah.
off.
throwing a little shade at Real Relate, guys. You relocated and you never got to come on our podcast.
Yeah, they
Kinda
moved to Miami like right after.
It was that I honest to God, I think it was like he was like, "Oh, I'm moving to Miami on Friday," and it was
Yeah.
like that week
So
we were doing
never
the
got
episode.
to reconnect.
Because
with
I was
them.
gonna say y'all gotta go to Miami for that.
Yeah,
I'm
too
going to
far.
Miami
Yeah.
Tuesday actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To see them?
No, it's I have my boys' bachelor party. It's in the Keys.
That's gonna be fun.
Me and my boy are going 2 days early because he was like, oh, we're gonna drive from West Palm Beach to the Keys, and I'm like, dude, we cut through Miami. Why don't we just fly Miami?
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. So we're going to Miami for 2 days, and then we're gonna go to the Keys for his bachelor party. So that's gonna be
Oh
fun.
my God, yeah, that is a
Damn.
way. That dude, I'm glad you were around because imagine just driving for that time instead of just hanging out in Miami for 2 days.
Oh hell no,
That's
dude.
crazy.
Incredible.
And I talked
Yeah.
about this with Isaac Groove because he's from there.
Shout out Isaac.
100%. Shout out my boy Groovy. Miami's just awesome. I just love it there.
I've never been.
Oh, it's the best.
I hear it's
I've
like
actually
a fake
never been
place.
either.
because you don't even have to go there to do the whole glitz and glamour thing. You can just go there to have a good time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I suggest everybody does that.
I will say that disappoints me a little bit because you guys know me. I'm all about glitz and glamour.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you
absolutely.
notice.
Mr. Bougie on
Yeah,
Steel,
yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Owen's really flashy. Owen,
Glitz and glamour, you know.
Owen, yeah. Owen's the type of guy to go, real fancy club. He's in the VIP section, popping bottles all
No
night.
less than
Most expensive
Okay,
liquor
so
you
when
can
you
buy.
go
Yeah.
there, go to 11. That's the club.
Is that
I forget the name
a
of.
Spinal Tap reference, or am
No.
I going to a place called 11?
No, you're going to a place
Okay.
called 11. It's like E and the L's are 1-1 Ven.
Oh my God, that's like oh my goodness, that is exactly a real life version of. Remember when in Family Guy when Stewie opens a nightclub and it's called Place?
Place, yeah. Big P. No, small P, big L.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's so funny. But that's the place to be. Is that a club or a
Yes.
music venue?
So it's
Or
a
both?
club and a strip club. From what I heard, I haven't been there
A lot
yet.
of good strip clubs in Miami.
as
from
much
what
as
I hear.
I've been to Miami 3 times, I haven't been there yet. But
Interesting.
from what I heard through Isaac and other people, it is a club/strip club,
Okay.
and it is the club.
I think
to be.
every club in Miami is a strip club, right?
Pretty much. I mean,
little
there's
bit,
also Live, which is the shit Rick Ross raps about.
And Lil Wayne.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And,
Like,
yeah, everyone.
anytime you've heard a rapper rapping about Miami,
And
odds
Drake,
are, right,
yeah.
they mention Live, which is Liv.
Okay.
That's near. Is it near the Fontainebleau? Because I'm staying at the Fontainebleau. It's like connected to one of the bigger hotels. So if you stay at that hotel, you're pretty much gonna go there. at some point.
I know 0 locations in Miami.
Oh,
I just know that there is.
I only know the ones that have been referenced in rap songs. That's
Go
how
there.
I know Live.
That's Nikki Beach, Wet Willie's. Go there. If they mention it in
Wet
a rap,
Willie's, is that a
Wet
strip club?
Willie's
especially at Wet
sounds
Willie's
crazy.
at Miami Beach. Shout out Luda. No, Wet Willie's
out
is a
Luda.
bar.
Wet Willie's in Miami
Wet Willie's
Beach. I
is a
do
bar.
remember that bar actually.
Yeah, but like Jack said, any time a rapper references a place in Miami, go there.
Okay.
They know what they're talking about.
Well,
Yeah, I
also
would
the
assume.
PR has got to be unmatched.
Exactly.
Everyone's going to go to check it out.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Interesting. So this is a little off topic, but I'm seeing your shirt here. You got the Wolverine. Do you see Deadpool and
Of course,
Wolverine?
I've seen it five times already.
Are you serious?
Yeah, not
Okay.
legally, but yeah. I've seen it once legally, and then the other
You've
time.
seen it legally every time.
Right,
so
exactly.
yeah,
It's like,
He
yeah,
pays, he pays,
I
he
ain't
pays,
mentioned
he
any
pays.
websites,
He
but
pays.
you know what I mean.
He
Like,
paid
yes.
extra actually.
But
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Yeah, I've seen it like 5 times already.
Hell yeah. So, what do you think?
I
Obviously, 5 times you like it.
I've effing loved it. Like,
It was perfect.
because
I
I'm
thought.
a big Channing Tatum guy, so to see him get his just due as Gambit because of how much he got screwed
They've been talking
over.
about that for a long
a
time.
very long time. He got casted as Gambit, I want to say like early 2010s, maybe like 2013. And then, they canceled his movie. It got
Yeah.
canned. He was fighting for it that whole time. And he's like, dude, like, whatever. So
There's
lo-
also photographs of him as a child, as like for Halloween
Yeah.
being Gambit. It's crazy,
Yeah.
like an obscure X-Men character.
There's a picture
obscure.
of him and Ryan Reynolds, I want to say at 2015 Comic-Con. And he's got the Gambit shirt on. And obviously that was when Ryan Reynolds got announced as Deadpool. And, he didn't get his just dues. Finally does in this movie. I just loved it. And he survived. I told everybody who watched it, I'm like, they were like, oh, Gambit died in the Void thing. I'm like, no, he lived. And then Ryan Reynolds was like, he lived. So that,
Of course he did.
That gives me hope that they're going to bring him in as Gambit in the MCU X-Men films, which I think they should because
Oh, I
he
can't
just,
wait.
as viral as he went, and that's not what I care about, I just genuinely think as an avid movie consumer, he did a fantastic job as Remy Labo.
Yes.
So, yeah. Other than that, because I hate when movies get leaked to like shit.
Was it leaked that bad? I don't know.
No. So that's the good thing. I made the assumption that he would show up because I'm like, well, it's like, okay, if this movie is about them killing off the Fox universe, because that's basically what they did.
Well, he does that at the end of Deadpool 2, right?
Right.
He
Yeah.
goes
Like
back-
he
yeah,
goes
yeah.
back in time. He,
Spoilers.
Right.
If
Yeah,
anyone hasn't
exactly.
seen Deadpool
even though it's
2,
been
yeah.
out since 2018.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
haven't
of on you
seen it.
guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're going to talk about that later, but
Yeah.
wait for the cameras.
Deadpool
Not
kills,
a movie buff. Not a movie buff. Just saying right now.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm gonna get you hit, bro.
All right.
Deadpool kills his terrible version of himself from X-Men Origins Wolverine using Cable's time travel device.
Yeah.
But the whole point, and they kind of spoofed it, was since Disney bought 20th Century Fox, all the movie rights to the Marvel characters went to Disney. And in this movie, they're in the Void and they all show up in the Void.
Yep.
So it was just cool to see, all those throwback characters come back, whether it's Jennifer Gardner as
Dude,
Elektra.
I love Jennifer Garner.
And you didn't see the movie?
I just want to say my first celebrity crush ever when I was like 10 years old. I went to see Daredevil in theaters. And
Oh, shit.
Jennifer Garner changed my life that day. I just
See,
want to.
Then he was
I just
in
wanna
the
say
theater,
that.
in line for 13 going on 30.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Just had to
That
happen.
was, that was the day I stopped playing with Legos.
See, they spoof Ben Affleck so hard in the new Deadpool movie because
Oh, really?
Because when
don't remember this.
Because when Deadpool links up with Elektra, Blade, and Gambit, they're like, oh yeah, Cassandra Nova killed Magneto, the Punisher, and Daredevil, and Deadpool turns to Elektra and he goes, oh, I'm sorry about Daredevil, and Jennifer Garner goes,
Yeah, oh, really?
yeah. So it was like a subtle jab at Ben Affleck there, but it's like if you caught
Yeah.
it, it was funny.
That does make sense, actually.
Yeah.
So I've only seen the movie once and did love it, but all like those little things, I haven't caught them all yet.
Yeah.
I've been seeing like YouTube videos breaking down like
Right.
all these Easter eggs. I'm like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But awesome movie. I do think it's a revival. I mean, he talks about it in the movie. It's crazy. Like this is, I was a Marvel guy. I am a Marvel guy. I like Marvel. Been watching it forever, like those original X-Men movies and everything. And when they started the MCU for real, and they, the Endgame stuff was unmatched. Like, I
Unbelievable
really
stuff.
don't think you can beat that era of it. And they're trying
Unbelievable.
so hard to recreate it.
Yeah.
And instead of doing movies, which nobody knew what they were at the time, everyone was like, "Oh yikes!" Like they're just flopping on all these movies, and then they tied together, and we like all the Thors that weren't good originally. So that's been kind of happening. Well, but collectively,
I don't like the first two. The third I've watched like 30 different times.
the
But you're
second
right.
one is forgeable. Yeah,
It's
So
horrible,
I've
but-
forgotten many times what the plot was, and I'm
Right,
like,
yeah.
"What was that?" I know I've watched it, and I was like, "I don't even remember what happens."
Right.
But because I was like, "There's an Infinity Stone in Thor 2," and I was like, "I don't remember anything about it." It's just like,
Yeah. See how they made us forget about it, but they brought it back in Endgame?
and it becomes
like,
relevant.
imagine
Yeah.
that in their biggest movie ever. They brought back one of their worst movies. And they're
Yeah.
like, I was
So-
actually kind of like, not like salty, but I'm like, you just referenced one of your worst movies as your biggest movie ever. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
Well,
man.
they had to. That's how they get the streams up now because people are like,
Right.
"Oh my god, did they show him in that movie?" So now you have to go watch that scene again and be like, "Oh, is this?" It's almost like the time turners in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is like all the movies that they were doing like that in the past that ended up becoming good, they kind of have been trying with the shows, but the shows are a little bit more of an investment because it's like 3 or 4 movies per series.
Yeah.
So I think they just and the production quality is not quite the same on a show as it is a movie. So they've been I think they bit off more than they could chew, and they spread themselves so thin. But they are finally, it seems, at least to an extent, pulling it back together with this Deadpool stuff because now they can swear and they've
think
opened that up.
Personally, that when they were like, oh, this saga is going to be the multiverse saga, they already kind of like dug themselves a hole.
Yeah.
Because now they're like,
When
oh,
they
we
lost
can
Jonathan Majors.
Exactly. It's like, oh, exactly with that. That's the perfect example. Now they're like, oh, we have to do something big for the next 2 Avengers films. We're gonna bring this guy back as this character. Case in point with No Way Home with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. We're
Right,
like,
yeah.
we're gonna bring everybody back. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. It's like, well, at the end of the day, these superhero stories aren't multiverse stories.
Yeah.
Like, Spider-Man's a street villain. He should be fighting the Green Goblin just for fighting the Green Goblin. Doesn't have to be.
Isn't that what they kind of did though? Like the last, like
the first 2 in the MCU, he fights like he doesn't do the multiverse stuff. He
But
fights
then when
the
he
actual
gets
guys.
so big, like he's involved
Right.
in Endgame and all that, and then the final one where I don't want to spoil because it's still kind of fresh. So if people are,
2020, December 2021.
was it that long ago?
Yeah, you've already had like 2.5,
I
almost
haven't
3
watched
years.
it yet, and I might still watch it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I know
I
Jack's
gotta
lying.
Yeah, I gotta say, the more you watch it, the less special it becomes. I've noticed that. Because I've seen it on planes and stuff like that, just to pass time as I'm like flying somewhere. It's like, all right, I got 2 hours to kill. I'll pop on this movie because I know it's 2 hours.
Well, because I think he goes through that arc of becoming greater than just the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it kind of gets reset, and then it closes with him just being what as like we used to watch the cartoons growing up, like that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is what his kind of like finale was. And then he probably ends up in Miles Morales' lap or something.
Next trilogy of his is gonna be important for Tom Holland because if they
Wait, hold up. No, I'm sorry. I thought he was closed. There's more?
no, there's more. Spider-Man 4 is coming soon with Tom
man.
Holland.
What is hold on? What's the best Spider-Man movie? Can we just clear
Spider-Man
that
2.
right
Yeah, that's correct.
Spider-Man 2. That's the one with Tobey
With
Maguire.
Tobey
right?
Maguire
Okay.
and Doc Ock as also.
I was
best
gonna
one.
say, all right. I also think that's the best one.
Yes.
Not that I've watched any other one besides that, but
and I
yeah,
gotta say,
think that one's really
It's
good.
the best one.
The MCU Spider-Man movies are not good. I don't like them at all. I gotta be honest.
So I will say, in college though, I'm sorry, maybe it was middle school or something. It's unclear because I'm 19.
Yeah.
When I
That's
was
the
a
joke.
certain
Super
age,
young.
and
Super young. You can't even drink right now. Why do we have
dude.
alcohol out?
well, I don't.
Bro,
this is
he's
my
drinking
age.
coffee.
This is
Okay, all
coffee,
right.
yeah.
Hey, listen.
I don't know
we're not
anything
telling
about.
each other. Cops ain't busting down the door.
I don't know anything about that, but
I'm underage drinking
Those-
right now, though. I'm also 19.
he's
so
19.
it's
But in
fine.
the safety of your own home with parents' permission, they're just
Yeah,
on
it's
the other
totally
side of
fine.
the camera, so it's totally
Yeah,
fine.
I have a funny age story after you tell that one, but yeah, go ahead.
Basically, it was just that I really did like the Andrew Garfield ones because the Spider-Man that I always grew up with was the one that had the web cartridges, had that was a plot point. He'd run out of web fluid, or like something would happen that someone somehow had similar powers to him, and they doesn't know how that. There was just all these comparable things. I liked the Tobey Maguire one, but it grew on me because like when we were kids, I wanted a witty Spider-Man. Like I felt like the
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield one had way more quips, and the Tobey Maguire one was kind of like a nerd getting his revenge every time. And I was
Yeah,
like, I don't really like that. I like of course he's smart, like quiet Peter Parker, but always witty, sassy Spider-Man. But we didn't really get that, I feel like, with Tobey. So
see, Andrew McGarfield. I'm combining their two names. Andrew Garfield is nerdy, but it's in the right sense. So like in the first movie, like the first Amazing Spider-Man, like he's really like almost like uncomfortable to the fact that he is Spider-Man, and it's like, you know, he's going through the school system, you know, his teacher becomes the Lizard and stuff like that. It's just it's cool. Like it doesn't necessarily even have to be good. It's just as long as it's cool and it makes sense that it relates to the Spider-Man story, that's good for me. That's what I feel is missing with these MCU films. They're more like, oh, look at us. We have Spider-Man now.
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
him go and stuff. And it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not special. It's like
they're like, Spider-Man's
if they
kind of like
did it
Iron Man's
correctly,
son.
right? Exactly. That is the worst thing they've ever done. If they did it correctly, they would push Spider-Man as the face of their franchise, which, you know, obviously it gets a little tricky because they share the rights with Sony. But, you know, after No Way Home, you kind of have to, because that whole movie was just nostalgia bait.
Yeah,
Like it
was.
got so leaked to the point where I went to go see it first day, and it's like I kind of already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like if Toby and Andrew show up, I won't be surprised because of how much got leaked, and that's not good. That's why Deadpool and Wolverine hit so much more, because you didn't hear shit about Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade.
No, yeah, they were good about it.
You thought him and Ryan Reynolds hated each other.
I didn't know that.
I read up on that. I didn't know about that until like a couple months before this movie released. Allegedly because Ryan Reynolds, I think he's in the first Blade. If it's either the first or second Blade.
Really?
They didn't get along with each other at all.
way.
He's like some soldier, some like mercenary. So he's not like a Marvel character. He's just some no name guy. But they didn't get along with each other, which they reference in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
And when he showed up, I like got out of my seat. I was like, whoa, because I love Wesley Snipes, great guy. I love the Blade character, and that's what makes these movies so special. Which is why I think Deadpool and Wolverine, when you look back, you know, in 10 years, is going to be one of the more important MCU films.
Yeah, I mean, it already is. I think it
100%.
just immediately made itself that big. I mean, Hugh Jackman, like, cited, he kind of pulled a Gronk on us. Like, he
really did.
He was like,
He's a
it
stud. I
hurts
love
my
that guy.
body. I can't
Yeah.
do this role anymore. Like,
But he's like, I'm gonna do it still.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
He
pulled a
thug it
Gronk
out.
on
you're
Yeah.
90.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good comparison.
So, fun fact, he had to eat 6,000 calories a day to prepare for his role as Wolverine.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's
I've been
nuts.
preparing for Wolverine for a while.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's it? Like, dude, like I can do that like in an hour. Like, you kidding me? You know how
am
much
Wolverine.
food I live behind? Like I live near? Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
something people don't know about me. I'm actually ready to be Wolverine at the drop of a hat.
Right, exactly.
If,
Oh, 100%. Connor Holloway has even said it too. Shout out to him. He's like, once I get in a Marvel movie, I don't care anymore. It says like, that's the same with me. If I get
the
casted
steroids,
as like
yeah.
even if it's a semi-known well character, I don't have to do anything else for the rest of my life.
Juice me up, baby. I just want a doctor
exactly.
to tell me if I'm okay.
I will gladly play that character for the rest of my life, and people call me a seller for doing like superhero movies than anything else. I'll do it. I don't care.
All I have to
It's
say
not
is
even because the money talks. It's because I like superheroes that much.
if you could tell your kid self, 7 or 8 years old, you're in a movie, first of all, just in a movie, in a superhero movie, and you're a superhero, please, if anyone can do that for me, please.
You know what I mean? So you're telling me I can have my own action figure?
Yeah.
I can have my own like
Gimme.
line of figurines. I could be in
my
Fortnite
God.
potentially.
Fortnite,
You know, it's 'cause
whatever's
that-
the next Fortnite too. There's gonna be something soon.
Right, exactly, because that's all they put in these games now since Disney like collaborated with them. They just put all these, you know, Disney skins in there, which if you're an avid player of the game, there's going to be some Pixar skins coming in there. So you're going to see fucking Buzz Lightyear with a gun coming soon.
Oh, I need
yeah.
that.
Oh,
actually.
yeah. It's
There's
going to be
not?
so funny
Oh my gosh.
because
yeah.
like that's like the only game I play on my Xbox right now just because of how funny it is to like have like Jack Skellington's in the game. So you're telling me I could mow down 20 people with an AK-47 with Jack Skellington?
And he
Sign
probably
me
has
the
like a
fuck
special
up.
power too. Don't they all have like a unique power?
Sometimes they do, like during seasons. They didn't give him one, but it's just the concept. It's like, okay, so Jack Skellington is shooting at Goku while Superman shoots back at
Yeah,
Jack.
yeah, dude, that's so funny.
Welcome to the future, dude. Welcome to the metaverse. That is the metaverse. Let me tell you that much.
I do
We don't
love
need
that.
AI. We just need whatever Fortnite pumps out.
And then they just hit the gwitty over somebody.
That's the best thing. You can
It's
just,
hilarious, yeah.
It's just so funny that's why you gravitate towards it. Like Peter Griffin's in the game.
I just want to see the craziest shit. Yeah, that's
Exactly. That's why I play it. Like that's why I don't want to play COD. It's like because COD's too
I got sick of
serious.
COD, yeah.
Fortnite doesn't take itself seriously, and you're telling me, like I said, I could be Goku shooting at Peter Griffin. Fuck yeah, dude.
So I
Turn me
did
up.
see a clip of Black Ops 6 that was very funny. If anybody wants memes from me, by the way, DM me and I'll send you all the memes. I'm the meme lord. I send
Fuck yeah,
memes all
dude.
the time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let me know, dude. If
He
you
does
want my
send a
memes.
lot of memes.
Okay,
Owen
this is
Steele,
coming
the
from
meme
somebody.
lord.
Oh, this is nuts, dude. I'm putting you on blast. This is somebody who doesn't open my memes. He doesn't react to my memes.
No,
This
I
is-
do,
No,
I
no,
do.
he does. He doesn't know the memes.
Salabin.
He has no idea what my
Yeah.
memes are. So he's coming from like it's true. I have fire memes, but he doesn't know that. So
I do. I
He
catch
gets
up on
them.
them
He just doesn't open them.
every couple weeks. I catch up on him. All right, I let him pile up because he sends 74 a day, dude.
And if you want fire memes, DM me at stainless116 on Instagram. Hit me up. I got them.
I'm
I
telling
mean,
you,
to Owen's
it's-
defense, like I go through my reels and there's so much stuff I want to just fire off
Yeah.
of my
Oh,
boys,
he
and I
fires
do.
it
Like
off,
I'll
dude. He
send them
doesn't
files, like
hesitate.
because I have to. It's
They're
like
this is what I'm
it's
saying.
just so funny that you have to see it. Like okay, it takes you 30 minutes to
And
react.
I will
if I
see it.
scroll
Just
through,
watch it.
You want to know how many memes I get back from this guy?
No, I don't send that many memes. That's just not my.
But
thing.
I know, I know you're seeing them, and you're probably like, I think that's funny,
Yeah.
but you don't think about your boy.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about you. So, anyways, this is on
So,
camera.
anyways,
It's on
this is the
record.
intervention part of the podcast.
Honestly, no. There's sometimes I'll
We're
be
in
honest.
therapy
There's
right
sometimes
now.
where there are sometimes where I see a funny meme and I'm like, oh, I should send this to Owen, but I haven't read the last 80 that he sent to me, so I feel like that's. I feel
I
like.
promise you, it hurts more that you don't send any. I promise.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
All right,
so the
all right.
reason I bring up the memes was there is a meme of the new. I think there was like a beta of Black Ops 6. I think isn't there?
Really?
There's a new Call of Duty coming out.
There
I
is
think.
no black. See, not to cut you off, but Black Ops 6 is going to be sick because it's finally for the 2000s babies and the early 90s babies.
Okay.
Because it takes place during like 9/11.
Oh
And,
no way!
like, yeah.
Oh my god!
So
when
it's
we were
like-
growing up, I
Right,
remember
that's
being
what I
like,
mean.
"What
That's-
if that happened?" Yeah.
Exactly. It's like
Oh
we
my
were talking
God.
about that before we
I
recorded.
was
It's like you know
probably
what I mean?
1 or 2 at the time,
Right.
but like
Like Saddam
9/11?
Hussein's going to be in
Yeah,
it.
you know.
Margaret
Oh, yeah.
Thatcher's
Yeah,
in
no.
it. It's going to be sick.
yeah, no,
We were
I-
actually not
I mean,
born yet. That's
I don't
crazy.
I don't want to be like saying that it's cool that there's a 9/11 game, but it is so interesting that we
Right.
grew up playing like World War II and like
Right,
whatever
exactly. We get
Vietnam
our
style
run
games.
now.
Yeah,
We're the old guys now.
it is kind of weird. So I don't know how to feel about it, but we're working, we're learning every day.
It's kind of weird how much that gets me hyped, which it shouldn't because it's a horrible, like, earth-changing tragedy. But it's
Crazy,
like,
yeah.
it's just the concept of, like you said, it's like, all right, every COD game up to this point has either been World War I, World War II, the Cold War, Nam, the Gulf War.
or
you know-
like a fake future war.
Right,
that they
exactly,
made up.
which
Yeah.
is bad.
You know what I've always wanted for video games? When I was younger, I used to be like, what if there was just like a war video game or a skateboarding video game or like anything that involved like our neighborhood that we grew up in?
Fallout.
Or like
Fallout 4.
Boston. Oh, yeah. Fallout,
Fallout
4
4.
has Boston
Yeah,
for
right.
sure. Yes. I have seen that.
Yeah.
But like North Shore and South Shore too. Like if we could just like go to your old childhood neighborhood.
That would be
and,
crazy.
I destroy
Yeah.
the fuck out of my home. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
just for
yeah.
just to be funny, it's like, oh, yeah, it's my home.
That would be pretty
ya.
funny.
I would love that.
So the reason I just want to cap
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the
yeah.
thought
Go
because the Black Ops 6, I believe, as a mechanic where you can like put characters into full Nelson. So there's a video I saw where two people were doing it, making the two guys kiss. So there is, it's not so serious in Call of Duty, but
No. I mean, because
That's crazy.
I honest to God, I think they saw like the Fortnite wave of it not taking itself seriously and were like, let's
Yeah.
get some of that.
But like
Well, we
Call
wanna
of
have
Duty is
fun.
war, and that's pretty serious.
Right.
so-
No, exactly. At the
Yeah,
end of the
but
day, you're
trust me,
playing a serious game.
war can be pretty funny, dude.
Right.
It can be pretty funny. If you,
It can be pretty funny,
Oh,
honest to
man.
God. You ever see the show MASH?
yeah,
You ever,
yeah.
That
I mean-
basically was the funny part of war.
Well, there is a really, the episode I'm talking about?
Maybe, because I haven't seen it in like 10 years.
I believe it's like one of the last ones, but it gets very serious about what is going on with these guys, but
Yeah.
they mask the whole thing with comedy.
Oh, of course.
But the whole show is comedy. But then, yes, there is one episode gets super serious and sad. If you know, you know. I'm not gonna say it. Just find it.
Go watch it. Go
You'll
watch
know
it.
what
It's
it
a
is.
great. It's a great show.
It is a great show. My
It's a
grandfather
fantastic
loves
show.
it. It's like you can.
I got
just,
hip through my
yeah.
parents. It's a very good show.
It's one of those OGs. It's probably on like all the time. There's like a 24-hour run.
Oh yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about films, and we mentioned Connor Holloway.
Yes, sir.
I actually want to say this right now on record. If Connor Holloway, you said this to me in person, I want you to know that I remember. If you
All
get,
right.
if
I'm
you
interested
get a
now.
certain amount of funding, I'm not going to say the number. If he gets a certain number for funding, he will give me a role in the movie. I don't know why I have a part in that. I don't know why he associated it with me. So that's why I want to make sure we're on record. I have
go.
receipts
Okay.
now.
Okay.
He said
Yeah,
it.
receipt. Okay, that's fine.
But you know,
I'm a little tight because I want to roll in one of his movies too.
I think everybody does. Yeah.
everybody does. That's why it's cool to know him.
I don't even
like,
need
I
to
just
say
wanna
anything.
roll.
Just show my face for like a second.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
if he could just
literally.
pull an Adam Sandler and just put all the boys in a sick movie and
Yeah.
it does well, I'd
That's
love
it. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Put me
He's
in.
got so much potential. there.
So I'm kind of wondering if, this was a little unprepared. Should we pull it out? You think? Is it time?
What are we pulling out?
I'm thinking
What are we doing here?
Are we whipping it out?
We're whipping.
we're
something
gonna
out.
whip it out. This is
Hey,
this is
now.
the Patreon exclusive. But no, we have actually a couple scripts printed up from a movie, a blockbuster movie, not to be named. And hey, sound off in the comments if you guys think you know what it is.
Okay.
we all have a part.
I don't know. All right. I'm
And,
with it. Like I said, I'm a movie fanatic. Give me anything.
We'll do a table read.
We're doing
Yeah,
a
yeah,
table
we'll
read right
try.
now?
Yeah. You guys want to do a table
Let's
read?
fucking do it,
All
dude.
right, we're gonna
Let's
do a
get
table
it.
read. We're hold on one sec.
Okay.
Connor, if this works, this is consider this maybe our pre-audition, audition to audition. So we'll see you in a few. One sec.
Yeah. Hold up. Time out. On the floor. Oh shit. Oh. Did we got scripts up in this?
We got scripts.
Oh my goodness. What is
okay.
going on here?
What is
Here's
going on
one
here?
of them.
Hey now.
Here's
Shout out
yours.
Mark
Hey
Picasso.
now. Here's yours.
Oh my
sir.
goodness. Okay. All right.
All right, everyone. So your parts are going to be highlighted.
Okay. I think
Or
I
you-
think I know where this is going.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
Just gonna throw a script at us, huh? All right.
Hell yeah. Look
Well.
at this.
So also for the viewers, if you don't want to see a table read, this is all business stuff, so you can skip ahead. But I highly recommend you don't, and I highly recommend you play the game, guessing down below in the comments what movie this is from. And
I know what movie this is.
yeah, it's
Fuck
yeah. I feel like
I
it's
feel like there's one line that's gonna give it away.
I don't
Don't
know.
say.
Maybe it might. Maybe it might not.
we'll see. We'll see.
We're not
We'll
saying
see.
anything about this movie other than the lines. So
Yeah,
y'all
I
gonna
mean,
have
it's
to
not
guess.
like that big of a stumper, but if you get it, your reward is that you get to like and subscribe to the Boston's Big Four YouTube channel, and also make sure to like and subscribe to the Say That Pod. Honestly, before we even do this, we never formally introduced you.
Oh, that's true.
This is
Yes.
is a
Yeah, who the
repeat.
fuck is this
yeah.
guy?
Who am I? I don't know. I'm just existing right now. What's going on here?
So this whole first opening act has been just the credits,
you
the opening
invite him?
credits.
Did you invite him?
So
I
yeah,
don't
we
know
got
this guy.
You got a friend in me.
we got Pete Luongo, aka Repeat, aka the host of the Say That Pod. Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm like, before we do this, I am so honored because I got on Turntable Teachers as a special thing for his 100 years. I was with somebody, but this is like my first formal doing it by myself.
Did you say 100 years?
Oh, I'm sorry, 100 episodes. Yeah.
I was gonna say, damn, he's been around a
Yeah,
while.
no, yeah, dude.
Turntable
Yeah,
Teachers 100
He's seen so much shit. Mike Scarfo's the time traveler. Turns out. But yes,
Adeline?
I am very honored to be on here because this is one of the more important and recognizable platforms in the city.
It's very nice of you to
Appreciate
say.
I like, and I'm not sure when this episode will drop. It will drop before you guys come on mine because we've already had that episode. It's fantastic.
I think we'll do it a little after that.
All right,
probably.
perfect. Well, I because like I said, I was literally thinking about today. I was like, that was such a good episode.
That was a good
But
episode.
to be
Go
on
check that
Boston,
out.
to be on Boston Big Four is excellent because obviously you guys started before me when I was coming up doing the podcasting stuff.
Yeah, which is crazy
You-
because we were like 14 at that time.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's
We're
it's
children, yeah.
insane. It was 2020, and it was
Yeah.
like, and that's kind of what I mentioned on your show. It was like once you start to immerse yourself in the Boston media culture, whether it's with music or platforms like yourselves, You discover dope people, you discover friendly people, and luckily I've been able to discover yourselves. You know, if you don't know who Boston's Big Four is right now and you're deep into this stuff, what are you doing, dude? They post a playlist every single week. Like, it's like, how are you so oblivious to this? Forget the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's like they post an iconic playlist every single week. How do you not know who Boston's Big Four is?
You gotta know.
It's
a good question.
Even
actually.
if it's from their dope sports clips that just get you all nostalgic up, like I tagged you in the Jordan Crawford.
Yes, I
thing,
appreciate
because
that.
I
Which,
know.
by the way, anyone who's talking about Jordan Crawford now, I feel like that's because of my tweet.
I
just
do
want to
think
say
it is too.
I just want to say
that's
that.
what because that's what
nobody was
your
mentioning
tweet
that before.
Reminded me.
Now all of
like,
a sudden
that.
people are, remember Eastern Conference Player of the Week? No,
Jordan
nobody was
Crawford,
talking
baby.
about that
Hell
before
yeah.
I posted that tweet.
Dude, two different people sent this to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I heard about this like weeks ago from Jack Bartley.
Right.
Like, what are we doing here? But yes, I'm very thankful for being on here. This is my first solo interview on a different platform.
Hell yeah.
And I can't think of a better platform to do it on than one of the more iconic ones in the city. So again, I appreciate the both of you. Thanks for having me on.
Of course,
And
of course.
don't say this, say that. Go subscribe to the YouTube and follow the
Yes.
Instagram. Say _that_pod. And follow these guys too, because they're the shit. But yes.
Facts.
Hell
Love
yeah.
it.
Fucking
Appreciate
love
you,
it.
bro.
Of course.
No, it's good to have you. It's good
It's
to
good to
have
have you too. You know what
And
I'm saying?
I like the fact that we went on yours and you're coming on ours.
Yeah.
It's like
Because you know what? I feel like,
we've never done that before.
you know,
with anyone.
it's good to be cognizant of who you have on your platform. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's yours. You do it as you must. But if you're bringing another platform on, then yeah, the show for show thing kind of makes sense. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because this is only my second like real interview where I can actually like, I feel like I'm having a great conversation already.
Yeah.
Obviously when I was on with Turntable Teachers, it was, he did his thing and that stuff like that. But like, now it's like the flow's good. It's we're having a couple of drinks. Everyone's loving it. We're in this dope spot. Like I walked in here, I loved it.
Stainless Studios.
You know what I'm
shout
saying? I
out.
love that.
The
but
band.
and everybody knows y'all. Like I said, like if you really are in the music culture and you don't know who Boston Big Four is, like I don't know how you're in it, honest to God. But at the end of the day, I feel like more platforms, at least within the city, should do this kind of show for show thing because it's good to highlight people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
I love it.
Yeah, we were talking about this before, but we can definitely. I think all the platforms, if we collaborated on media runs for artists, I think
Absolutely.
it would be mutual beneficial.
Absolutely.
100%. And honestly, I think that just benefits everybody. Like, I don't even think there's a loss in that situation.
Yep.
Even if you have more followers or subscribers than me, I really don't even think that's a loss. Like,
No,
because
yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean? The more stories or the more places we're able to tell these stories, the better.
I also find it hard to believe that if we were put in a room with somebody, just anybody, like individually, and they're like, have a conversation, that we'd all have the same conversation. That's not going to happen.
No, it really
You know?
isn't.
No.
Because
So-
like I said, we've had similar people on both of our platforms.
different every time,
Same with
yeah.
Turntable Teachers. Same with
We all have a different approach.
we just exactly, and that's what's good about the platforms in the city. Everybody has a different approach to how you do these interviews, and I think the viewers appreciate that, but also the guests do as well.
For sure.
Absolutely. Are we
So
gonna?
without
All right, I
further
think-
ado,
are we
yeah.
doing this? Oh man.
Without
Think my
further
acting
ado.
debut a little bit.
Yeah,
here, you know what I mean.
I'm pretty
Hell yeah.
excited. So yeah, I'll count it out, and I guess we'll start. So
And just to give you more of a
this is the first
background,
page?
if you know what movie this is from, like and comment on this
You
video.
win $1 million.
well, Jack might be able to. We'll figure that part out.
Asterisk.
Well,
asterisk
yeah,
next
yeah.
to $1 million.
Okay, lights, camera, action. Congratulations on passing the detective exam. Welcome to the Special Investigation Unit.
Whoop-de-fucking-do.
We won't be working together directly. We'll be working for Captain Ellerby. But I like to see everybody. You're a worker. You rise fast.
Like a 12-year-old's dick.
Thank you, Sergeant.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thanks, honey.
You can go in there now. You could sit. So, do you know what we do here? My section?
Sir, yes, sir. I have an idea.
Whoa. Let's say you have no idea and leave it there. No idea, zip, none. If you had an idea about what we do, we wouldn't be good at what we do. We would be cunts. Are you calling us cunts?
Staff Sergeant Dignam has a style of his own. I'm afraid we all just have to deal with it.
You have family connections down in Southie through your father. Tell us about your Uncle Jackie.
Uncle Jackie was a carpet layer for Jordan Marsh.
Uncle Jackie was a small-time bookie who tended bar at the Vets in Somerville. He popped by at Nicastro in 95. They found his body out by the airport.
That's right. I remember his funeral.
Closed casket.
That's right.
You tell anybody at Deerfield, that is, before you got kicked out for wailing on a gym teacher with a folding chair, you had an uncle who met his demise like that? I got a question. How fucked up are you? Let's look at the rest of the family tree. Your maggot uncle, Tommy Costigan. He's another goof. Got busted selling guns to federal officers. Among many, many, many other departures from normative behavior.
What's that got to do with me?
Why are you pretending to be a cop?
This unit is new, and you are the newest members of it. You have been selected on the basis of your intelligence and aptitude. This is an elite unit. Our job is to smash or at least marginally disrupt organized crime in the city by our own efforts and by the enhanced cooperation of the FBI, represented here by Agent Frank Lazio. And we will do it, and by organized crime in the city, you know who I mean. That's Jackie Costigan. That's an old picture. Jackie met his demise. Last known photograph, right here. Costellano uses 3 guys. This Fitzy, off the boat. Psycho lives in Brockton with his mother who looks like straight out of Going My Way. There's Delant, Muscle, and there's French, the number 1. But you, of course, the rock star. You know who. We've done a briefing book. Read up. I want to have any and all ideas so I can pass them off as my own. Do your job and you will rise fast. You're the best in the position in the department. Let's go to work.
Your old man was a hump from Southie. Baggage handler at the airport. Family's all criminals except your old man.
And one priest, since you seem to know everything.
I ain't sure about him either. Last I heard, he was happily married to a 12-year-old boy and living on a beach in Thailand. Family's dug into the Southie projects like ticks. Life is down there. 3-decker men at best. You grew up, however, in the North Shore. Laddie fucking da. You were kind of a double kid, I bet, right? One kid with your old man, one kid with your mother. Upper middle class in the week, then dropping your eyes and hanging in the Southie projects with Daddy the donkey on the weekends. I got that right? You have different accents? You did, didn't you? You fucking snake. You were different. You were different fucking people. You were different fucking people.
You a psychiatrist?
If I was, I'd ask you why you're a statey making $30,000 a year. And I think if I was Sigmund fucking Freud himself, I wouldn't get an answer. So tell me, what's a lace curtain motherfucker like you doing in the Stadies?
Well, families are always rising and falling in America. Am I right?
Who said that?
Hawthorne.
What's the matter,
Matty, you don't know any
smartass?
fucking Shakespeare? You don't know any fucking Shakespeare, buddy?
We have a question. You want to be a cop, or do you want to appear to be a cop? It's an honest question. A lot of guys want to appear to be cops. Gun, badge, pretend they're on TV. And scene.
And scene.
Gets a little wild after
Boom!
that.
Yeah, it does. If
So-
if you look up that video on YouTube, you'll know what happens next.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
So,
say.
yeah, and why we had to cut that part.
Right,
But
exactly.
anyways, yeah, it looked like we had a couple of printer issues, I guess, but otherwise, I thought that went pretty smooth.
That went very
Yeah,
well.
dude.
I hope
yeah.
that gets me in a movie someday. I hope
Yeah.
that gets us all in a movie
Yeah,
someday.
so Connor, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So that
who's
was
seen
Toy Story 3.
Right.
Yeah, Toy Story 3.
That was Frozen, actually, believe it or not.
We're narrowing it down now, so I don't.
Disney, hit us up. You know, I know you're making a lot of live action movies nowadays. I think we got something going here. You know.
Oh, and if you want to do table reads, send us scripts. If you have a script that you want to be read at a table read, maybe an original work, maybe it's something you just like, send it to us. Tell us what to watch.
It has to be at least a 3-person table read too, because there's usually 3 people on the show.
You got to make sure there's 3 people in the scene, or
Right.
make it very clear who plays what roles if there's more, because you know you can get a little iffy. But anyways, I thought we did a good job.
That was awesome.
This could be a new
lot
bit.
of fun. Yeah, hell
That
yeah,
was
that was a
solid.
lot of fun. I love
Boston's
that.
big table reads, and that's why we got the round table, because we want to make sure everyone knows like there's no head of the table here. We're all part of the ensemble, so
Absolutely,
it's like we're
yeah.
all we're in it, you know.
General Reigns, head of the table, throwing up the ones for the good people. I don't know if y'all watch wrestling and stuff like that, but any people that do watch this podcast, y'all know what the head of the table means, and y'all know what we are the ones means. If you watch wrestling,
Thanks.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about it, but not really like that.
I could probably go on like a 3-hour tangent right now just about wrestling.
Oh,
But-
really?
All right, well, we're just going to leave and we'll let you
Yeah,
do
I was
it.
gonna say
That'll be next
I'll
time.
take it from here, guys. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for having me on. But
That would be hilarious if we're just like in the background cleaning up and stuff, and
Yeah.
you're just going on, and we do like these time lapses,
Yeah.
and you like still talking. Yeah.
Everything's clean. Like, we're gone. I'm home. You're
And that's
you're
why
still
when John
here.
Cena first came in and took the title, it was significant.
one eternity
Owen
later,
comes
I'm
in
just
at
this old
6 a.m.
guy going.
tomorrow with a cup of coffee. Like, you're still fucking here.
Like,
It's
some
like
kind of
back in
record.
my day, these wrestlers used to hit each other.
They did a thing called blading.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good stuff.
Fun. Thanks for doing that. You're our first guest to do a table read.
Fuck yeah.
Honestly,
good.
I think this is going to be a recurring bit.
It should
I'm
be
in.
because listen, movies and like music, they go hand in hand, like just from like a creativity standpoint, you know? So I think if you get more people in here and they do table reads, like I said, who knows? Maybe like some big time, maybe one of Connor Holloway's, connections is watching this show and
You never know.
they, they're out in LA and they're like, you read pretty good there.
Yeah, well, it's also not unprecedented for musicians to go get into acting. So, like,
It really
just to-
isn't. Right, exactly.
Just to, maybe we give someone the bug. Maybe it doesn't come from our episode, but
Right.
maybe someone.
I
gets the
feel
bug.
like the world is yearning for a new musician to actor. Because we've had Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg's in a bunch of stuff. I think we need someone else.
Should Drake go back to acting?
I think he
T.I.,
should.
Ludacris.
I think if Drake went back to acting, that'd be a good rebrand for him.
Would Drake
Probably.
do okay, you think, in a Marvel movie?
No.
Or would that be too much?
No, that's too much.
Drake
That'd
doesn't deserve
that would
Marvel
be
back.
too funny to like, you know what I mean? That would just be too funny.
All right. So I believe what we were talking about was Drake. Whether or not Drake would work well in a Marvel movie, probably no. My next question was going to be, does Drake deserve Marvel movie money at this point?
Yeah, I think just from
You think he
like,
deserves it?
I mean, deserved is a strong word. It's
Yeah.
like is he owed that, which is basically deserved. It's like no, like because it's just he's Drake. Like, you know what I mean?
Because he was on top when that shit meant a lot.
Right, exactly. No, 100%. Like when the
And
MCU
he's still on
was
top, like he's scared of the drop, or is he? Or is he?
very interesting.
And he did have specific instructions
Sounds like he wasn't scared
that
of the
when
drop.
he dies, put his money in the grave.
That is true. No, so he laid out his whole life's plan. Does he deserve it? I mean, those movies are kind of geared towards kids, so like,
But Drake does like kids.
Oh, okay. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. That didn't cross my mind at all. But now
you know what I
I'm
mean?
like, that's not good.
I mean, we watch it, but
You're
you know,
right. But-
probably the majority is a little underage. So it's like,
You know how big Drake smiles when he's like hugging NBA players? Yeah. Imagine him smiling like that, hugging kids that are like, you're that character.
Toeing the line.
yeah.
Toeing the line.
I mean, he
Yeah,
has
Drake,
that.
I don't know,
Toeing
dude.
the line.
He has that video of him making out with a 17-year-old stage. And I'm
Wait,
like,
what?
No. They weren't making out.
Well, I
were
mean,
they?
he kissed her. He was like,
All right.
So basically,
Oh,
and bad,
boy.
and I gotta give them a shout out real quick. Bad for the Community brought
What
this
are we
up
doing?
in one of their older, videos, which I
Yeah.
wasn't even aware this video existed.
I saw it. Yeah. I saw
So
the video.
as the video goes,
Was
Drake-
it at like UMass Lowell or something?
it was
too?
some college campus. I don't
Yeah.
even think it was at that. But it was this is years. It was probably like 2011, 2012. As it goes, Drake is obviously over the age of 21.
I believe he
and
was 22 at the time.
Yes, he's not 25.
Mm-hmm.
A young female fan comes on stage. Drake asks her age. She responds with 17, and Drake is very distraught of that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, how come?
Yeah, I was gonna. In spite of that,
That's
yes.
literally what he
No,
said.
he
not
literally
seen
the video. Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Literally, yeah, no, this is real.
Yeah, no,
He's like,
he's
"Oh,
like, oh,
tell me you're lying."
yeah. In front of like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
He's like, plus. Yeah. Right, but he's probably doing it in a joking way. In spite of that, later in the video, he goes up to the girl, grabs her cheeks, and gives her a kiss on the lips.
Which cheeks?
The lips one, not the actual, because that would be bad.
That still feels aggressive. You're controlling your head.
no,
towards
right,
your
no,
face.
exactly. So
No, it was the whole thing was weird.
So to put him in a Marvel movie that's run by Disney, and Disney, likes to gear it towards kids, is like,
Oh yeah, no. Hey, we didn't even have to explain it that deep. Once you said it, I know that's what's been getting thrown around.
know what I mean?
I was
It's
like,
like,
yikes.
oh
Yeah.
no, buddy.
Also, I don't know why. Oh, I thought this was going to be looser. I just wanted to move it down an inch. That's all.
Just
That's
an
all.
inch.
Pause.
There you go.
Yeah, that's yeah. But
Time out.
no,
Just an
Yeah.
inch. That's all you need.
Yeah,
That's all you need?
Drake
All right.
shouldn't get in a Marvel movie. This is the thing that messes me up about him, because before the beef happened with him and Kendrick, I had a lot of OVO stuff. I can't wear that shit anymore.
yeah.
I cannot wear.
You
I
mean
wore-
OVO?
Exactly.
OVO.
So you want to know?
Stab this way. Stab that way.
So you want to know the fucked up thing about that is I wore my Kentucky Wildcats OVO shirt, but the only thing that says OVO is the owl on the back. So if you look at me, it just says like Kentucky. I was at work one day, and some kids started to play like some like random probably 16-year-old white boy starts to play Not Like Us very loudly right next to me, and I'm like,
As
don't
everyone
react,
does.
don't
these
react,
days.
don't react, don't react. I no sold it so well, but I'm literally like that Jordan Peele me where I'm like sweating and shit like that. I'm like, oh, so I really can't wear this stuff in public anymore, huh?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't think. I looked at that whole thing as more of the diss aspect of it, not the accusations. Like whether those are real or not, sounds like there's definitely some evidence. I've no idea.
There's a little bit of evidence. There's not a
that
crazy
video
amount.
is the most incriminating thing
Right,
I've
exactly.
seen. Yeah.
That's a great point.
and I obviously I just didn't. I guess I didn't even know about that video. That's like so weird. I just knew that he was texting the girl from Stranger Things.
Millie Bobby Brown, yeah.
So I
Which
know
was
that-
also
that's-
weird.
that
Which
is
was
very
also
weird.
weird.
So
Like, 'cause-
I get all that stuff, but
because
yeah.
even if they didn't do anything, which hopefully they didn't, because that would be jail
Why,
time for
as
him.
a 30-something
weird.
year
Right.
old man, are you
You're
trying to be
hanging-
friends with a teenage
right,
girl? That's just
right.
strange.
Like very teenage. Like she was like 13, 14. Like, no, dude. Like, leave her the fuck alone.
I
Stay
guess
away.
yeah, no, but the only reason I say that I feel because we were saying a while back, is Drake just gone? Like, is he not gone, but like, is he kind of not Drake anymore? I definitely think he's
not
deflated.
Drake anymore. He's not Drake anymore.
I really, but here's the thing with that. The reason why he's not Drake anymore is because of how big Not Like Us got.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I gotta be honest, I think Meet the Grams in terms of a diss track is better.
Yeah.
But Not Like Us just got so big that
It's
it's
a hit
like
song as well.
It did.
Yeah, that's why.
that's his problem. He poked the bear where he's like, all right, you make a diss track, but it's not a hit song. And then literally the next song is a
Drake
hit song that they're
underestimated
playing in the
Kendrick's
club.
ability to make a hit song. Drake thought he was the only one
Right.
who knew how to make a hit song.
100%. And I think that's where, you know, him talking about like Drake and 5, and I don't even know what the hell that is, because honestly at this point it's like, dude, you need to go away for like a good year and a half.
Yeah.
You need to be silent on all social media, wipe the slate clean. That's it. That's how you come back. You don't come back by responding to this. The diss track he dropped in response to Not Like Us, he deleted.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
It was the Heart Part 6.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
God.
it was weak shit. It was weak shit. Because I got to say, the diss tracks he dropped before were good. But after that,
Push-Ups was the best one.
right, exactly. But after that, it's like, dude, like you're just grasping at straws at this point. Like you lost, and you got to admit you lost. Yes, that's hard.
Has he
for,
not?
Yeah, no.
Well,
Dude,
by
he's-
deleting
I mean,
the
he's
thing,
not
I think
going
he
to
did.
admit.
because he's done so much like of this sus shit that it's like it's just weird to me. Like you're just kind of playing up the stereotype that you like, you know, not for nothing, you probably are a pedophile. Like
Ooh, yeah.
exactly. It's like you can't. You have to go away for a good year,
like-
year and a half.
I don't like thinking about it. I don't
No,
want
right?
that
I
to
don't
be
either.
true. Yeah.
I have all this OVO stuff in my drawer, and
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it. It's either I sell it or keep it until he rehabilitates his image. It's like I don't know
Yeah.
what to do.
Well, honest to God, though, that's what I was saying is like, I truly thought of it more as he lost really badly, lost a diss battle, but
Like a
not
4-0
like,
sweep badly, where you get blown out every game.
but I still don't see, like, if I saw somebody wearing Drake stuff out in public, especially not Drake, I would not be like, they're wearing pedophile stuff. Like, that's
I
not where
wouldn't
my
either.
That's very
brain
true.
would
I
go.
wouldn't
So
either.
that's why.
A lot of the diehard fans are, which is why I'm
I believe that
hesitant to.
OVO logo is still on
It
the.
goes hard.
It's still on the
Yeah.
Toronto Raptors practice facility.
Right.
Like,
No, it
it's
goes
still
hard. It's a
very
great
much-
logo.
yeah.
And the sucky thing about that is I have an OVO, I have the owl and the wings, the Italian flag. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
if I want to wear that out in the North End, it's like, I kind
Turns
of
out
want to.
all Italians are pedophiles also.
Damn,
That's what
I
it
told
said.
myself, bro.
That's from that shirt, dude.
Saying, let me get the fuck out of here. Chris Hansen's at the door right now. Shit.
Yeah, that's why there were cookies here. I don't know
Yeah,
if you noticed.
exactly.
Yeah,
Damn.
we did.
Oh, yeah, it's like,
Toe the line. Toe in the line.
I told him myself.
You've been firmly
Toe
stepping
in
on the line.
Speaking of the North End, let's talk about the North End for a
Fuck
second. 'cause I-
Jack's over here squirming because not just a few minutes
Give me
ago
that.
you were talking about a 12-year-old's dick in this script.
I was reading the script, brother. All right, this is as actors. This is what we get paid to do. To no feelings involved.
Right,
We
no.
just
Yeah.
I became the character.
This is like WWE.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
is pre-scripted.
Jack's really good at acting.
Yeah, so good. Some might say a little too good.
A little too good. That's all I'm saying. I believed you. I believed you.
No, let's talk about the North End for a
Fuck
second
yeah.
because like you grew up in the North End, which is
Hell yeah.
crazy because like I didn't know people grew up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
so-
didn't realize that either.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? You think of the North
That's a place
End.
people move to when they
yeah,
get rich.
Yeah, exactly. You think of the North End, you think that people just like you don't start living there until you're 30 plus. But then you find out that there are children there. You're like, wow, where'd you go to school? Like,
So, from preschool till 6th grade, I went to St. John's at the North End,
okay,
which is where I met a lot of my lifelong friends. The reason why, which is a fair assessment, because nowadays the North End is very yuppie oriented.
not a lot of kids there these days, right?
If they're kids, they're not authentic North Enders.
Okay,
All the authentic North Enders moved out of town because it just got too expensive. You know, like I sleep in Revere. I say I'm from the North End, but I sleep in Revere.
yeah,
But I don't hang around Revere. I hang around the North End. That's where all my lifelong friends are.
so they're still
But-
there.
Yes, they are still there. But your assessment of there might not be kids there is correct.
Yeah,
I've gone to the local community center there, the Nazaro Center. We won state championship in CYO there for basketball. But you are right. It's nowadays it's a very yuppie oriented neighborhood, which sucks because you know, we still have the feasts in August, and I'm a member of the St. Anthony Society. But in a way, it's almost treated as like a novelty, the North End now.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, oh, it's so authentic Italian, the orange
You don't even think, not even just kids.
like-
You don't think of anyone living there these days. You
Right.
think of it as just a place people go to get good food and then they leave.
And,
Like,
and if you
that's
think they
pretty
live
much
there,
it.
you're like, oh, they must have all this kind of money. Because yes, that is
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
There is a very high spike in rent prices in the North End. That is correct. But the authentic ones that still live there, you know, those are my friends. I really, if my dad grew up there, my grandmother still lives on Prince Street. I literally was there before I came here. But you're right. You know, it's very, if you consider yourself an authentic North Ender, you're the last of a dying breed.
Yeah. That's sad.
Because it is sad. And what kind of, and you know, I just see the changes all around the neighborhood. Like where I used to play basketball, there's people playing pickleball. With
Bro,
yeah.
all right, we need to talk about this for a
let's
second.
let's please
hold
get
on.
into this because I
There,
seen
there
it on
are
the way
basketball
here.
courts everywhere being taken over by pickleball courts.
I
It's a
seen
this
that
is a
on the
real
way
problem.
here.
I didn't know this.
This is a
On
real
the
problem.
way here, I saw that there was like 4 games of pickleball
Bro.
going on a basketball court.
There's this
I'm
court
like,
in Norwell that I go to, and now they painted over the basketball lines with
no.
pickleball
Wait,
courts,
whoa,
dude.
whoa.
It's
no.
unbelievable. Yes.
There's no basketball lines.
No, they kept the hoops there, but the lines are gone. It's all
Hell
pickleball courts
fucking
painted
no.
over. It's
hell
unbelievable.
no. That shit is just upgraded ping pong.
Yeah, and it's the only people playing it are like older people, right?
Well, I gotta say, so where my grandmother lives, there's a park across the street where there is basketball hoops.
Okay.
They changed up the whole place, but there's they're playing pickleball underneath the basketball hoop.
Right.
I'm like, dude, stop.
Right. I've been
what-
at a basketball court, and all of a sudden, a bunch of pickleball people show up, and I have to
Hell
leave.
fucking
And I'm
no.
like, are you kidding me?
Hell
What
to
is
the no.
going on
When
here?
I was on the way here in my Uber, I rode by a park that had a basketball hoop sit there. There
This
were
is a
4
real-
different sections
Yeah.
of people playing pickleball. I was upset.
Guys,
I'm
this is
like,
an
hell
epidemic.
No, no,
This is
it's
a real
Are
problem.
the pickleball people paying for the space?
no, because you know what it is. They just bring their own net.
Oh, is that what it is?
Like
That's
no,
annoying,
that
yeah.
literally is it. They bring their own net, paddles, and a ball. Like
Yeah.
when you see somebody playing pickleball, and this is to anybody watching, 10 times out of 10, that person has brought their own gear to that basketball court.
Yeah.
In the city of Boston, there's no like pickleball court.
Right. So what I'm saying is, if you guys love pickleball so much, make some pickleball courts. Stop taking over the basketball courts. It's crazy. It's out of
Thank you.
control. All right.
Thank you.
That's a public service announcement.
Which is funny because at my family business, because we sell ornaments, we sell a pickleball ornament, and it does sell well. But I'm like, that's just me taking advantage of the market. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
It's a popular
But
thing right now.
I don't like it. Like, dude, like basketball is far superior. You know, it's
cooler.
Definitely cooler. Nobody's watching pickleball on
way
TV.
more intense. You're like, right. It's gonna get to a point. Pickleball's an Olympic sport, by the way. I just
Pickleball?
I'm
more
sure.
like fickleball.
I'm
right,
sure.
exactly. Hell yeah. Shout out Owen,
I have
baby.
no problem with pickleball. Just make your own courts. That's
right.
all.
No,
That's
exactly.
all.
Stop taking
Dude,
over the
this is,
basketball.
you're on the wrong
courts.
side of history. This is gonna look bad in 5 years. This
No,
clip it.
basketball's
Clip
always going to
it.
be superior.
Far superior.
Basketball will
I don't know.
always
This
be
sounds
superior.
like the 1960s,
to
dude.
the moon.
Yeah.
No. No. It just is because there's the good majority of people that are for pickleball are very less than the people that are against it. Like more people are against it than they are for it. I strongly
Yeah,
believe that.
and, you
it's
know,
a big yuppie sport.
It's a big like middle-aged white people sport. Those are the
100%.
only people playing it that I know.
100,000%. I know, literally, I have never seen a person over the age of 40 playing it.
Yeah,
I gotta be
so-
honest. I haven't.
Wait, under the age of 40?
No, over because the majority of them are under the age of 40.
You were saying old people, so we get an
No,
argument
no.
here.
The ones I've seen playing.
You've seen old people playing it? Yeah.
Bro, like 50 and 60s.
No
yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
surprising.
Yeah.
That would have been a wave of comments, so
Yeah.
I'm glad I caught that.
No,
I just wanted to
50s,
make sure.
50s and 60s.
But in the
That's
same
what they're doing in the suburbs. I'll tell you
right,
that.
exactly. As Jack said, in the much way you have your own basketball courts and tennis courts, get your own pickleball court.
Absolutely.
Do not take over somebody's court playing pickleball. Because okay,
Crazy.
let's
They
say
should have their own bathrooms,
let's
too.
say I
Like,
wanted to go hoop. You know, I had a long day at work. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna get a nice workout going in. You know, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I walk onto the court and there's people playing pickleball. I'm gonna be
Unbelievable.
Pissed. I'm gonna
It's
be
happened to me
pissed.
many times.
Get out of my neighborhood, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of my
Yeah,
neighborhood.
get off my lawn.
Literally, get off my lawn. But that's in a good way. I will say that. Don't say this. But see, dude,
Like and subscribe to the Say That Pod at on Instagram at Say That Pod everywhere, and also is it Say That Pod on YouTube as well?
It's Say That Podcast. Say That with exclamation point podcast on YouTube. On Instagram, it's Say
Also-
underscore that underscore pod.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
We're
But-
going around to every pickleball court in Massachusetts, and we're painting basketball lines
Yeah.
over all of
We're
them.
This is
destroying
actually
them.
crazy
This is
because
our
I
form
don't know.
of
I've been
protest.
making like kind of jokes about it this whole time, but this is like you guys are sounding like racist.
No,
This is
What do you mean?
Not like
if you replace everything you've been saying with names of races, it's exactly
100%.
what
Well,
you've
yeah,
been
but we're
saying.
not.
It's like-
pickleball,
about
right?
sport.
It's a sport, right?
It's about sports.
Anybody can play this sport, and I
First of
suggest
all,
a lot
they
less people
started
play
this.
it.
They started this shit. The basketball courts were there for a long time.
Right.
Dude,
No.
exactly.
This is
Pop and-
colonization.
Plug and play with these
Yeah.
names here.
Right.
You're
This is
racist.
colonization of basketball courts. I don't fuck with that.
I mean,
So-
if anything, they're
Right.
being racist because pickleball is obviously a white people sport.
It is. It very is.
Proud
Or
Confederate soldier.
I will
Yeah.
say,
Ready to go.
So they're just taking over. They're like, yeah.
But
They're saying white
So-
sports only, and they're making these courts. That's what they're saying, dude.
it is. Dude. I gotta be honest.
That's
it
also
is.
racist. So maybe
No,
you
that-
guys are anti-racist, and the whole argument
I'm for
sounds
sure
racist
anti-racist.
because it's
I'm sure I'm against racism.
Yeah,
for
it's
Yeah,
sure.
because we're all
systematic.
anti-racist.
Right.
I'm just saying that
Yeah.
what it sounded like.
I gotta be honest. I would rather they play cricket on basketball courts than pickleball because
Yeah.
pickleball is just that stupid.
Well, cricket also is like an established sport that's been around for a long
Right.
time. Nobody knows what pickleball
I don't think
is.
you could play cricket on a basketball
No,
court.
you can't. But I'm just saying that's how much I dislike pickleball. Like it literally, it was a. It's
I don't
a
like how it wasn't a
post-pandemic
thing
sport.
like 5 years ago, and
wasn't.
now all of a sudden everyone plays it.
Post-pandemic, everybody plays it. I don't know who started it. I don't know how they started it.
Like,
Because
why don't
literally,
you guys go back to playing golf like you were doing
it.
before?
That's it. Or don't even play
know what I
tennis.
mean?
Yeah.
Play
yeah.
tennis. I watched them play it just to like observe the enemy. I'm like, this is literally just a bigger version of ping pong. And
Yeah.
like, you ever play that game Foursquare when you were kids?
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna
That
say,
kind of thing. It's
imagine
like-
you pull up to the basketball court and there's like 8 games of Foursquare going on. They drew the chalk and everything. What do you think?
Yeah.
You mad?
I'm thinking.
You kicking them out?
I'm thinking these basketball hoops are here for a reason.
You want them out of your neighborhood?
Yes,
Is that it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
If you're on a basketball court, you are there to play basketball.
I think
if
so.
you're on a tennis court, you're there to
None
play
of these
tennis.
multi-purpose courts. All right,
No,
it's too
yeah,
confusing.
Right, that's
it's
stupid.
too confusing.
That's hella stupid.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
courts are
right.
ming for one thing
know what I'm
and
saying?
one thing.
yeah,
only.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Here we go.
And
Here
here's
we
the
go.
other thing
Here
about
we go. We're towing the
pickleball.
line. We're towing
Here's the other
line.
thing about pickleball.
Listen.
If it is that simple that you can
There
put
are
it
only 2 sports.
back in my day, there was only 2 sports.
Now they
there was
got
6.
all these pickleballs,
Pickleball.
foosballs.
I'm not getting pickles, pause. But if pickleball is that easy to set up that you can do it on like where the free throw line is of a basketball court,
yeah.
just do it like
It's tiny.
anywhere
yeah,
else.
That's the thing. It's tiny, bro.
It's so tiny.
It's
Just do
tiny.
it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like it probably. Now, here's the thing. I'm trying to have a little empathy here, you guys. I'm putting on my me, an empath. I'm trying to put on my empathy
No, we're
hat.
anti-pickleball
No,
in this
no,
podcast.
okay.
It's not working.
So if you're
Shut up and go to the next question.
It's honestly, you guys, I'm getting fired up about this because nobody gets to voice their opinion and no
Yeah.
one feels heard in here. And I'm starting to wonder if this barn's even a safe space.
No, I'm gonna burn it down to the ground.
This
right
part
now.
has never been safe.
Yeah, no, it's safe. Anyone who wants to come on next, the barn's
No, this
wicked
no,
safe.
not even joking. This barn is a great vibe.
It's so sturdy.
I
and
don't even think
everything.
it's a barn. I think it's just a chill place to have a podcast.
Yeah, it's.
But as you
It's a
were
studio.
saying, right?
So if you play a sport, any sport, whatever it is, even if it's like like ping pong or we would play pool at your house, and like if the table's uneven or if there's like a bump or something, every court's a little different. Basketball court is level, is even.
Always the same.
If you can't just go to a parking lot, it's not going to be even. You might have some slope to it.
Right.
And so I understand a little bit like they're playing a sport
So
that's.
pave your own court.
Right, exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
You
Your
can do it in your
if your
backyard.
sport's so popular, why doesn't it have its own courts?
Right,
That's
exa-
crazy.
You know where
Plug
it
and
has
play
it,
with these names
You
again,
know?
dude. I don't
Here we
know.
go.
It's
you know
Sounds
where it
sport.
has its own court. I think there is a
probably
Lifetime
one.
Fitness somewhere in the North Shore that has its own specific pickleball court. I can't for sure tell you which one, but I've seen it on some of the people's stories on Snapchat that I follow.
Pickleball players versus racquetball players. Who do you think wins?
Racquetball.
You think they'll beat them up?
Racquetball's way too fast.
It's been around longer.
Exactly.
They're more trained.
And racquetball takes more of reaction time. Pickleball is just like,
Okay. Okay.
it's like
I've never played pickleball, but I'm assuming it's easy.
I don't even want to play. Yeah, exactly. I'm so against it that I don't even want to play.
I see the people
Honestly,
playing it, and I'm
this
like,
is-
that's not an athlete.
This is
right.
kind of the perfect promo for us to start a pickleball league.
Yeah, exactly.
no, I
we're like,
refuse
we're
to
doing
play.
this
I
now.
refuse to
Exactly.
play.
Anybody that wants to play pickleball on Jack's
Actually,
home
no.
basketball court,
If there's anybody
we're gonna go
who
there.
thinks they're really good at pickleball, play me. It'll be my first. It'll be my
Play
first
me in
time.
basketball, actually.
If you lose, you have to like and subscribe to Boston's Big Four, Boston's Big Podcast.
If
and
you
Boston's
lose,
Big
we
4
have to go and change all the pickleball courts to basketball courts.
right,
We're
exactly.
gonna paint over them.
well,
keep them how
you,
they
you
are.
don't even have to
Yeah.
change them because they're already on
Well,
basketball
that's true.
courts.
That's true. But we're gonna repaint
Yeah.
the basketball
No,
lines.
if we
Yeah.
win, we're putting up a sign that says "No pickleball allowed." That's what we're doing.
I like that.
Because I like you said, dude,
No
it's-
loitering, no pickleball.
No pickleball, right? Exactly. It's not necessary. Because that's my thing. If you did it on your own court, sure, no
Yeah.
problem. Have
Yeah.
fun. You're doing it under basketball nets where
yeah.
people go to like hoop. I'm like,
It is weird
crazy.
to obstruct something like it's already there
Isn't
for
that
that.
crazy?
Yeah.
right. It's
Isn't that
stupid.
crazy? I think that's crazy.
That's like literally sports colonization,
Yeah.
and I don't
It
like
is.
that.
Yeah.
And
Basketball
all
was
you're
there
doing,
first.
all you're doing is hitting literally a bigger ping pong paddle with a bigger ping pong ball. I literally think it's not even that bigger than a tennis ball.
Anyone who's taken any space from anybody from all time should give it back right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's why I'm such an authentic Bostonian like that. I don't like the change of like
I get
yuppies
that,
and
yeah.
shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes
Let's
sense.
So-
take our
So fuck
city back.
pickleball,
So
basically.
sorry, circle
Yeah.
back to the North End.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
so
that was a long rant on
That
pickleball.
was a long rant. Yes.
Yeah,
It
pickleball
had to
sucks.
get
No,
off.
no,
Right.
I'm
Pickleball's-
glad we did
at
that.
the end of the day, pickleball sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, more like pickleball.
Right.
We got the North End. You said a lot of your friends are from there,
Correct.
but a lot of the authentic people moved out. And I'm curious, the friends of yours that are still there, are these people restaurant owners? Are they running restaurants? Or
No, surprisingly not. I do know a family who I went to middle school with this person. It's one of my favorite restaurants in the North End. It's called Bencato. Please go there. I went there with the microphone and TJ Patiglio.
Okay.
So great food, great stuff like that. They own that restaurant. The people who I hang around consistently, they do not. You know, they're more blue collar, working in.
Okay.
My best friend works at Bringham's in the scheduling department. Another one's in the union.
Shout out unions.
Of course, shout out unions. But I know people who own restaurants. Whether they're my friends or not, I know who they are.
All right.
But
What are
yes,
what are your recommendations?
first of all,
What's the best restaurant in the North End?
Bencato over anything else.
Really?
DENCOTTO?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
How long's that been there?
I can't give you a
Long time?
Decently,
Hanover
I'd
Street?
say more than I'd say a decade or more.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
fairly new then.
Yeah, it's on Hanover Street, correct? It's
Okay.
it's right near the Paul Revere Park where that statue of Paul Revere is.
Okay.
Secondly, I would recommend Carmelina's, which is the one that's like virtually impossible to get through if you don't book a reservation 3 weeks in advance.
Makes sense.
Thirdly, a little out of the box here, but I recommend Polly's, which is the more takeout spot.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
fantastic. I love it there. I got it there today. I got the Outback sub, which is roast beef with like sriracha aioli, onions, all that good shit. They make good pasta
Sub,
there
that's
too.
not very Italian.
Yeah.
Italians don't eat subs, dude.
Well, what about the Italian sub, dude?
Right, exactly.
Dude,
No,
you know where that
Italians will-
originated? Portland, Maine, brother.
Dude,
Did it really?
Yeah.
That's
No
hilarious.
shit, yeah.
By who? An Italian
Some
man.
Italian American
Right, exactly.
man. It's not a real Italian.
But- You know
what's
if you go to
crazy?
Italy, they don't have subs there.
They
Jack's
do
been
not. No, they have
gatekeeping-
sandwiches, but they don't
Right?
have subs.
You've been
They don't.
gatekeeping kind of all afternoon
What do you mean?
where people can play pickleball. Who owns the Italian sub? Kind of weird, dude.
I'm just saying.
We need to bring gatekeeping
If you go to
back.
Italy, they don't eat subs there. They
I
don't.
believe that,
least
yeah.
in
That's an American
Boston,
thing.
at least in Boston, let's bring some gatekeeping back.
Oh,
a
big
little
time.
bit.
Well,
It doesn't
Bring
gotta
back
be
shame.
right. It doesn't gotta be this big thing. Let's bring some gatekeeping back.
We're gatekeeping reading scripts. If anyone else does it,
Right,
you heard
exactly.
it here first.
No,
baby.
no, you copied off Boston's Big Four. Sorry, I don't make the rules here. I don't even think they do. But you know, you
we
copied
just
off
follow
Boston
them.
Big Four, right?
But yeah, the Italian sub started in Portland, Maine. It's a fun
No
fact.
shit.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird spot, but I get it.
Love Portland, Maine,
The
actually.
next thing I was going to say is, do you think, because you said there's no subs in Italy, or it's not what you normally see.
Yeah.
You want to know why I believe that? I believe it's because, us as Americans, and now picture right now, like
We like that extra bread.
This Star Spangled Banner might be like playing a little bit in the background,
Yeah.
or like
America,
something.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Basically, we're
We'll
fat.
put it in post. You'll
Yeah.
be probably hearing some patriotic music as I'm talking. Americans, we're so busy and we're so productive that, are you kidding me?
yeah,
To
there you
sit
go,
down and
yeah.
eat a meal, is insane to us. We're, of course, family meals. We're doing it side by side, working. We're staying busy. We're running.
Oh yeah, we bring
Dude.
our laptops to dinner
Dude,
with us.
running to the next meeting.
Anytime I'm having lunch, I need to be watching something.
Yeah, because we're busy, dude. We're multitasking.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm eating something, I have to be watching a YouTube video, a movie, a show, something.
Shit, I'm sending emails right now, dude.
Right, exactly.
This is
That's
happening.
why
It is
like,
funny because in Europe, they're like, if you go to a restaurant, they're in no rush to get you out of
Nothing.
there. at
Crazy.
all.
Don't you want to make money?
Right.
Don't you want to get tips? No,
No,
they don't
there's
get
no
tips.
rush.
I
No,
know
No, they don't
it's-
get tips over there.
Like it's
Wild.
actually almost annoying. You're like, when is the waiter coming so we can get the check? Like, and they just walk by the table like a bunch of times. They just let you chill there for like 2 hours. It's crazy.
Can I gotta say,
That's weird.
from
It
being
is-
on
it's what
from
they
being
do.
on Twitter a lot, I think Europeans are very insecure compared to what like Americans do. Because like they're like, the vast majority of Americans don't have a passport. I'm like, dude, how big is America compared to Europe? Very big.
I will
Like,
say,
oh yeah, what do you
America-
got? We got it.
And a lot of
America's got like 10 countries within it.
exactly like if you
Like
took
so many,
somebody,
I just mean like in terms of the cultures. Like there's so many different cultures in America.
if you took somebody, even in New England, you took somebody from Boston and compared them from northern New Hampshire. That's like a whole nother world.
a whole different
And that's
world.
only 3 hours away.
Oh yeah, they're
Think
doing-
about that.
You know what I do sometimes?
That's why Europeans can't comprehend that. They're like, America is so vast in culture. It doesn't even have to be whether you know you come from a different race or anything. It literally can be you come from a different section of the state.
Yeah.
Like compare
Like
okay,
Massachusetts has a bunch of different
Compare northern
sections.
Mass to western Mass right now.
Yeah. Like
Totally
what are they?
different.
What are they doing out there in Western
Exactly.
Mass?
What the-
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Probably nothing important.
Shout out my guy DK and Muda. I don't know what y'all doing out there, but yeah.
I always
Muda's
say
out
that
there?
one of my
Muda's from
favorite
Western
things to
Mass.
do. I don't know if you guys
Great
are on
guy, by the way.
Snapchat.
I am.
Shout out to Muda.
Yeah,
I like
hell
him.
yeah. I love
But
that guy.
You ever go on the Snapchat map
Yes,
and you can look at like different places?
absolutely.
I like to go to the most random remote parts of New England and see what the hell people are doing up there sometimes. And it's exactly what you'd expect. They're like chopping wood, getting ready for winter. Like it's hilarious.
It's like, sorry, dude, I have to worry about like my own insulated heat and shit like that. I ain't
Yeah.
chopping no wood.
I'm like, oh man.
But that
These-
furthers my point. It's like, even if you live in the same state, it's a different culture.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like a lot of Europeans can't comprehend that. They're like, okay, the reason why you guys have all these passports is because your train system is actually very functional. I'll give you that. I want to see a better train system in America.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, let's just say, for example, you live in Paris, France. You can take the train to Madrid. You could take the train to Milan. You could take the train to Brussels, Frankfurt. You know, those are all different cultures and different countries in the span of 2 hours, like that. You take the train 4 hours from here, you're only in New York. You want to talk about a different culture?
But I would argue that it's more similar Boston and New York than it is from like Paris to Madrid.
Yes,
sure.
correct.
So is
Absolutely.
Europe
Boston.
racist by keeping the borders up? So Europe, that's something to think about tonight. I'm going to send you home with some homework.
Oh god, he's
And
doing
you're
his
gonna,
pastor
yeah,
voice.
Interesting. We're looking at you here. Rob.
Yeah, Europe.
I knew it was gonna come out of it.
But also, the Olympics just passed. There's a reason the USA had the highest medal count.
USA.
yeah.
USA. Like I said, that's the thing about living here, at least in America. We can have all the problems we want, anything. We go up against other countries, it's red, white, and blue, motherfucker. These colors don't run, bitch. Like, it's like, yeah, let's get it. USA, USA. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
you're getting me fired up right now to beat up some Europeans
That's
that
what
come
I'm saying.
across
It's
my
like,
path.
Woo! It's like, and I gotta say, the thing about the Olympics that pisses me off is Noah Lyles, because
I don't like that guy.
that man opened up a whole can of worms.
Do you
he
like
shouldn't.
him?
No,
I hate that
Who is
guy.
this?
He's
I
like,
can't stand
he's
him.
the dude that's like, when the NBA champions call themselves world champions, you're like, world champions of what? I'm like, the world. Because
all the best basketball players in the world come to the NBA. Obviously,
Oh, yeah, and everyone knows the
that.
washed up players go and play in like.
Yeah.
and on
exactly.
top of that,
Yeah.
the Boston Celtics have been calling themselves world champions since the 1950s. All of a sudden, it's a problem.
Oh yeah,
Fuck out of here.
challenge us.
Exactly.
He also was mad that Anthony Edwards got a shoe deal and he didn't.
Okay, so exactly. Okay, so you're jealous. Then he's just
You're
a jealous
jealous
person.
because
Turns out he's a jelly-ass
you're jealous
hater.
because the 20th best player in the NBA is way more famous than the
Then
best
you
player
are.
in your sport.
Exactly.
Yes, you're mad
Exactly.
about that.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd revoke that man's citizenship, to be honest with you. I have him go run for Great Britain or Spain or something like that.
Do you think he had a meeting for a deal and was just wondering because thinking like, oh well, my cloud is here and his is here.
But also,
It's like, no,
it's
you're-
like, dude,
you might be the best at your sport, but the 20th best in the NBA is still more famous than you.
Dude, the
That's just how
50th
it
best
goes.
is. DeMar
Yeah.
DeRozan's more popular
Yeah,
than
oh,
he
absolutely.
is. Right. But yes.
It's basketball. Basketball is a global sport now.
awesome.
It's like everyone loves basketball.
That's why anybody says the NBA champion can call themselves world champions.
Absolutely.
Because you put the Detroit Pistons this year against a EuroLeague champion this year. The Detroit Pistons are wiping the floor with them.
Should
I'll
the
stand on
MLB
that.
stop calling it the World Series?
No. Because even in that sport, the
look
best
at all the-
players from
all the
Dominica,
foreign players that come to
Cuba,
Major League
Japan, they
Baseball.
all go to the MLB.
They all
But
do.
if they had leagues that played the U.S. like in the same league, you
Well,
know
I mean,
what
they do. It's a World Baseball Classic, which, okay, in fair, you can call yourselves world champion of that. But again, it's called the World Series because,
because the players who play for Japan in the WBC play in Major League Baseball.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So if the Dodgers win the World Series this year, let's just say, and Shohei Ohtani's MVP, is he not a world champion? You know what I mean? He 100% is because
Yeah.
he came over from a country that's 14 hours to get to.
Yeah.
Here, won a major sports title. He's a world champion.
No matter where you are in the world, if you're good enough, you will be in the majors.
You'll be in America.
You'll
in
take
the
that
major
trip to
sports
America and you'll play in the majors if you are that good.
100%.
Yes.
So that's my beef with all the stuff going on. Because honestly, he was a
Fuck
dumb
Noah
argument.
Lyles, dude.
Seriously, fuck
Also,
him.
the way he said that
Yeah,
bothered
so
me.
cocky, yeah. Like,
he's
he's
like,
like so
world champions
arrogant.
of what?
Right.
I'm like, stop talking like
Right.
that. Oh
Who?
my God.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
Nice.
100%. So
who?
cocky.
Who is this? What does he even play?
He runs. He's a runner. He's an Olympic runner.
You know, we used to say something.
What?
Back in the old sports days, and I'm sure people still say it.
What's that?
It's interesting how your whole sport is a punishment in every other sport.
That's
What,
true.
running?
Yeah.
That is true. No, that's fact. Because when I used to try out for basketball at high school, they would have us run for like 15 minutes straight.
Yeah, and it's the
around
worst
track
part of
court. Right,
practice,
exactly.
isn't it? No one
it's
wants
the,
to do
It's
it.
the worst part. It's,
Yeah,
it is-
I always said running without a purpose is terrible. If I'm gonna run, I want to be playing basketball or baseball or football
Easy.
or something. If I'm just
Easy.
running just to run, I hate that.
easy.
Well,
I mean, it's good
sometimes it's all you can do.
exercise. It's good exercise. All of us, like obviously,
Right.
but
No,
it's
but
to
that
do
was
that
whack.
to do that competitively. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you were really, really fast, you were like, all right, I might be able to be the fastest person in
Right.
the world if I work at this. Then you'd.
But
wanna do
again,
it.
okay, so to his argument, they haven't played every basketball player in the world. You haven't ran against every runner in the world. So how do you know you're the world's fastest man?
The world's fastest man is probably some guy that none of us know about.
No, right, exactly. But that's how
probably
empty
just
the
some
argument
guy
is.
who's like-
and that's why, and not to flex my American muscle here, any American team that wins their title, whether it's the NFL, the MLB, NHL, NBA, they're the world champs. They are. It's not even to say USA's the world. It's just if the best league is in this country, you are the world champion.
True.
You are.
I will say though, for hockey,
Hockey can be debated. I'll give you that. Because
most of
hockey's
the
not
players in the most of the players for the American teams are Canadian.
right.
So
exactly.
It's like, Okay, an American team won the Stanley Cup, but most of their players were Canadian.
And I gotta be honest,
So-
hockey has a better argument about being world champs than any of the sports do, because there's like 5 different hockey teams in Canada, pro hockey
At
teams.
least there's like
At least, yeah.
7, 8, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly.
There's a lot.
So at least you,
Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Montreal,
Winnipeg.
Toronto, Winnipeg. Yeah, there's
it's like
a lot.
6 right there.
Yeah.
So they even have a better argument. And they don't even call themselves world champs. They just call themselves Stanley Cup champs. So, but every other sports league, calls themselves world champs. It's just, you know what, dude? It is. It's okay. You don't have to be insecure if you're from Spain. You see the Boston Celtics calling themselves world champs. You don't. Because if that Boston Celtics team came to FC Barcelona's basketball squad, the score would be 70-20 in the first quarter.
Yes.
So it's like,
And if-
let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. This is a nothing argument. Let's move on. Sorry, America runs the sports world. But our bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, we're great.
Sorry, we're good at everything we do in
Except for
sports.
soccer.
Except for soccer, right.
Which is
Exactly.
the biggest sport in the world.
Exactly.
That's not true.
We don't really.
Nobody cares about soccer, actually.
At least
Soccer's the biggest sport in the
States,
world.
they don't care about soccer.
Yeah, not at all.
Admittedly.
man.
But
it's
you go,
crazy. It's the first one we play, though. Everyone played soccer first, and then you just got
It is the
sick of
biggest
it.
sport in the world. Hands
You are
down.
right. No,
Do you
it's
think
the biggest.
that's a ploy by the American government to make sure every kid is the only thing you can play first is soccer?
That is
we all
true.
learn to hate it young because it's the first exercise. Then we try something else.
That
and
is
then do
very
that.
true. And looking
You know?
back, that's actually correct. Because
Then we try other sports and we're like, oh, this is way better.
Exactly.
feel
I
cooler,
did
yeah.
soccer. I did soccer, then went into baseball, and I loved baseball.
too.
Everyone
Yeah.
does start with like kindergarten. You play soccer,
Right.
Yeah, the very first boys
Yeah,
and
yeah.
girls together because it's just everyone.
Probably
No one
because
knows
it's
how to do
also the
anything.
easiest to play. Sorry, soccer players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
you just
It's
put a
like,
ball on the field.
You
and you're
just
like,
kick a ball. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Pass it to this guy, or I'll kick it this way.
yeah.
It's easy. Yeah.
We could all be great at soccer if we really wanted to. Like that's pretty much.
Yeah.
what it
That
comes down
is
to.
it.
You know, it's really
and
funny.
and I gotta say this: once the United States figures out its soccer situation, it really is over for the rest of the world.
Dude.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Like on the Olympic level, at least. World Cup, okay. On the Olympic level, if we figure it out, it's over.
How many years do you think the U.S. would stay in the Premier League and not falter at all?
That's a good question.
Or would we be
because
relegated
that's
right
even
away?
the thing is, there's a lot of Americans that play in the Premier League. I don't think they'd be relegated right away. I think they would at least be a contending team for like a good 10 years.
It's funny because we're in this. We're just not
Right.
like good at it. So
Right.
it's funny.
No, right.
But I just feel like if we did turn the Jets on,
Right.
like if we had a, like whoever would be our Tom Brady, we
No,
gotta
right.
find
No,
him
exactly.
and then throw him in.
What about this? So I know a lot of European soccer leagues. They have this thing where the last team in the league gets
Relegated.
relegated. Right. What if we did that with professional sports in America?
I would be for it. I gotta
like
be
that?
honest, because that takes away a lot of tanking like opportunities. That takes away a lot of like chances to get a draft pick. Because all of these leagues, no matter which league it is, even if it's the NHL, they understand what markets sell what. That's why the Spurs got Wemby. Like the Spurs had like the third worst odds to get Wemby. They still ended up getting them. Obviously, the league fixed it because it's like, all right,
Oh, they've been doing that forever.
right, exactly.
Ping pong
We
balls, a
have
bunch
we
of
have
nonsense.
we have our next big foreign star. We'll put him with Popovich.
Mm-hmm.
He'll develop well. Like, what's he gonna develop in Detroit or Charlotte? Fuck no. So, I think relegation, honestly, at least in the NBA, would be good.
So the worst team in the NBA goes to the G League.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Or like they like.
Do you not think that the worst team in the NBA would smoke anyone in the G League though?
No, of course they would. So they
destroy
just
them.
get relevant.
So they just go right
Right,
back.
Don't
up
they need to
next
win
year.
for like 2 years first or something?
It's
not
something
right
like
away.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you see it with the draft. It's like the NBA clearly has their favorites of who's like the least good teams. So like Detroit, Charlotte, the Spurs. Out of those three, the
They're
league's
gonna pick Spurs because of
right,
Popovich.
exactly.
Yeah.
The leagues they're more historic. The league's like we're not gonna send
they
Wemby
still
to
have
Charlotte.
Popovich.
Like I went to Charlotte. I've seen that arena. It's not bad, but it's like, are we gonna send Wemby to Charlotte?
Their all-time
Yeah.
leading scorer is Kemba Walker.
Right, exactly.
So-
Like you look at
Love Kemba,
you look
but
at the
come on.
all-time NBA teams in 2K. It's like,
Del Curry.
right, Del Curry. I can't even name the guys on the all-time Charlotte team. but-
Baron Davis. Probably.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's that point. It's like the leagues don't even care if you do shitty.
Yeah.
They don't. Like
all about the money.
Like the Detroit sucked this year. What pick did they get in the draft? The 5th.
sucks.
They had the historic losing streak. They got the 5th pick in the draft.
It's terrible.
Come on,
Yeah,
dude.
it's terrible.
I would be rioting if I was a
That was the
Pistons fan.
Celtics in 07.
I think relegation would, I mean, it doesn't, change everything. But if you have a team that just gets screwed so bad but doesn't get relegated, now there's a team that might be worse than you coming up, and now you have more of a chance to get more games in. And that team probably has time to develop by playing at a higher level, and you could just spread the talent a little more, and just obviously it adds that other component. But I'm curious, do you think we've talked about this before, but I want to know how you feel about this. NFL relegation to the XFL if you are the last place.
That would be ugly.
That would be very ugly.
That would be
because
ugly.
the NFL doesn't treat their worst teams like shit. So, example, the Bears. They can get their stud, franchise leading QB.
If you're the worst
with
team in the
Caleb
league,
Williams.
the league kind of makes sure you get that franchise quarterback
exactly.
to make up for it.
Because they don't do the lottery. They do it by record. Right. So I think it wouldn't work in the NFL. In the NBA, I think it would work more.
I think the talent differential between NFL and just whatever the next level down is.
No, definitely. Because,
People
for
would be
example,
hurt very bad.
The Pick'em League I'm in, there's actually games where I'm picking the Bears because of Caleb Williams. If they did a relegation thing, it wouldn't be.
Right.
So I think the NFL awards like tanking and stuff like that. Because if, like, for example, the Patriots this year, dude, we're gonna suck. Let's keep it a buck. We're gonna be bad.
Yeah.
The NFL knows that.
Right.
It's
and they're
not
going to
like-
reward us for that. And
It's-
if they
right,
didn't,
exactly.
we would suck for a long time.
Exactly.
probably.
Like, it's easier to rebuild in the NFL than it is these other sports. Way easier.
as long as you're given the right tools to do so.
Look at the Bears. They got their franchise QB for the next 5 years potentially. Let's just say that because we don't know how he's going to turn out.
Probably pretty
Patriots
good.
same way. Let's just say Drake May turns out, second best to Brady. That's the high ceiling. NBA, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. If you're a nothing franchise from a nothing market, they don't give a shit about you. They don't care. Adam Silver will make sure you do not get your franchise player in the draft. And literally the case in point is this year with the Detroit Pistons, literally the second worst team in the league, and they got the 5th pick in the draft.
Crazy.
They should have got at least a top 3. At least.
Yeah.
But they don't do records. They do this lottery ball shit. That's why they make it funky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Case in point, last year with the Spurs and Wemby, they were like, the league literally looked at it and was like, Wemby's an all-star, a stud, a once-in-a-lifetime player. Do we want this guy going to Detroit or Charlotte, or do we want him to go to Spurs with Popovich where he can develop perfectly? Where do you think he went? And look what happened. That's just how it is. I don't like it. If I was a fan of that, I wouldn't like it at all. But there's nothing you can do. It's clearly fixed. No one really cares that it's fixed.
Yeah.
So it's like...
As long as
you know
it's
what I mean?
interesting, right?
Exactly. As long as the storylines line up, you're perfect.
Yeah. But you can't rely on those ping pong balls.
You
as
really
an NBA
cannot.
team.
I mean, it worked out for the Celtics 2 years in a row, I got to say, and thank God it did.
But in 07, it didn't work out
It did
for them.
not. And we had to
We were
pull some
supposed
strings.
to get KD or Greg Oden.
Yeah.
And
luckily
we were the
didn't
worst team in the league. But we
Luckily
got
we-
like the 5th pick.
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't get Greg Oden. We actually got teams that next year we won the title. But
Well, yeah. No, it ended
you're
up
right.
working out. We got KG and Ray Allen. But
Yeah.
it was at that time, it was like, oh my God, we got the 5th pick. Like that wasn't supposed to happen.
that was horrible. Yeah. That was bad.
We were thinking,
Right.
all right, 1 or 2. Like
which is why I'm surprised the league awarded the other teams that pick, because at that point we were still a historic franchise. We're one of the originals.
Yeah.
So same with the Spurs. They've been around for a while. So in that case, I was very surprised that they didn't award us at least the top 3 pick.
Yeah.
But thankfully in 2016 and 2017 they did, and look what happened this past summer. It worked out.
Did work out. And it's going to keep working out.
Oh, we're repeating next year. I don't care.
We're repeating.
Repeat, exactly. And the only reason I'm named that is because me and my dad share the same name. So that's why it's like
so
I'm
you're
the
repeat.
junior, so you know what I mean?
Oh, you're the
Yeah.
repeat. All
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
I like that.
A lot of people don't know that. I don't know.
When's the 3-peat coming?
Pressure's on, bro. Pressure's on. What was your gal's name again? Hey, let's make it.
I don't know. What year is it? I mean, I don't know. It's like, damn.
It's true. You're only 17, 18, so...
Exactly. Yo, I got time.
You're younger than us, yeah, man.
But I will say this
Dude's
on
still in high
camera.
school.
I will say this on camera. If I do end up having a son, he's going to be 3-peat.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Hell yeah.
Has
That
to
would
be.
be
You said it
perfect,
here.
yeah.
Has
so
to be. You kidding me?
gotta
It's like,
do it.
that's just setting me up right there.
Are you going to actually name him 3-Pete?
No, he's gonna be Peter Anthony Luongo the third. But
I think you should name him
I'm either
3-Pete,
gonna
dude.
only call him Trey or 3-Pete. I'm not gonna call him Pete because I'm already Pete.
True,
Yeah.
that's too
You know what I mean?
confusing.
I'd like to call him Trey.
Or a girl, Petra.
Ooh.
Heard it here first, folks. Unless I just ruined it.
Ooh,
I
No,
don't know.
I've never thought about that. That's interesting there. Because Petra's a big like ancient Greek, ancient Italian name.
Oh,
So I like that.
okay. I was gonna say, do Greeks and Italians beef over their mythology?
No, it's all the same
good.
thing. I mean, I like Greek
I'm
mythology.
glad you said it.
I like
Yikes.
Greek. I gotta be honest. There was a class in 6th grade that was just straight up Greek mythology. That's where I ended up falling in love with it. I love that
Okay.
shit. Yeah, I'm a big history nerd.
Nice.
Believe it or not. Yeah, like
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Like aside from all the sports and music stuff, I love history.
What's your favorite decade?
Oh, that's anything ancient. So like ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, anything like.
So are you in tune with the Anunnaki theories and whatnot? You know
what
about
is
this?
that?
Oh, you'd probably love it. This is like alternate history stuff. This could be, we could probably talk for 4 hours
Yeah.
about this. So basically there is a theory out there that essentially, this is like kind of ancient aliens, that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there was an alien race that
Oh, of
came
course,
down
right.
like
Yeah. Seen all
around
that
a
shit,
certain
right.
amount of time. And there, there's all these like theories about civilization, and now there is like evidence of civilizations before what we thought
Yeah.
were ancient civilizations. So, I would, if you want to do a deep dive, check out the podcast, The Y Files. It's a pun on the X Files, WHYY.
Yeah.
He just goes through like conspiracies like this, like why people would think that maybe like Adam and Eve were some like experiment that we misinterpreted as like the guinea pigs of it. So we're like, oh, that's the first man and woman, you know, like things like that. And he gives you evidence as to why people think this. There might be some like pieces of the puzzle that could be like, this would make sense if that was the story. Yeah. And then it'll be like, it's also maybe fake because of these other reasons too. So they like break it down like for the like why it could be real, why it could be fake, and it ties it into sometimes real historical things.
I
So
like that a lot.
It's pretty cool.
Because I'm a big conspiracy guy too. Because it's just like, it's not like, you know, fucking COVID conspiracy and shit, but shit like that. Like,
Those
you know
ones
what
are
I
the
mean?
funnest ones, the alien
they are.
ones,
They
yeah.
really are. Because it's like, what if it happened though?
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
there's like theories that people say, because for example, you can't travel to Antarctica. It's just you're
No,
not
you can't.
allowed.
No, you're not.
So there's like, but there's a lot of government bases there.
Yes.
And people think that because a lot of like UFO activity also goes in the water, that there might be like bases or whatever down there. And there are people that have like anecdotal stories that say they've like worked for the government or been there, or like they found their grandfather's
Yeah.
journal that shows like he was in this
Hollow
base.
Earth and stuff like that. Yeah.
And like that the pyramids were actually generators, and there's like science that maybe backs that up because there was limestone and granite, and then when you like conduct those two, they can create electricity.
Wow.
So
Give me hit.
I have
I'm
not
gonna,
heard that.
Nah, tomorrow I'm
So-
looking up all YouTube videos on
yeah,
it.
and I'm not sitting here saying I believe any of that's real. It very well might be, like if somebody found like some other key to the puzzle. But
I
it's
honestly
just
think
like fun
if
to
all
listen
those
to.
conspiracy theories ended up being true, I think the world would be a better place.
It'll be fun.
I
yeah.
gotta be honest, because like, all right, it's all Earth, cool. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because we're so used to negative shit that it's like, all right, like aliens, like the government basically came out and said aliens exist.
Yes,
and we're
yeah.
just like, all right, word. So if it came out that like, oh yeah, Hollow Earth's real and like, you know, the pyramids are generators, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like it would be groundbreaking shit. It'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
that's cool. Like,
Yeah. That is
sure. I like to live in a world where that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it would be really cool. I mean, a lot of the theories kind of do tailor towards more like the sci-fi, like it's just cool.
yeah, of
It's
course.
cool to
Yeah.
think. Like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because also, like, people have to say that the Roswell crash happened in like the 50s or something. And then what happened since the 50s? We got like crazy radios, digital stuff, like CDs,
All that shit,
Wi-Fi,
yeah.
like things that
Technology did
we
advance
just
a lot.
suddenly like, where did that come from?
Wow.
Like, it just came out of nowhere. But also, you know, in truth, they probably were studying a lot of those circuits a long time
and
ago, eventually they turned into that. But still, it's just fun to think. So
No, of course.
you never know.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing with conspiracy theories.
So I was surprised, just being a history buff, you haven't heard the alternate theories also.
I have not.
But it also probably takes a lifetime to even learn the real stories. So.
Because to be honest, I just got Audible.
So just the history stuff was really interesting, but I'm trying to segue now a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, you know, it's still history related. So we never talked about this on the episode. We were on your podcast,
Yes.
so we talked about us. What are the origins of Say That? Where did it come from?
So
You've changed locations, right?
Yeah, in a way, it's a very complicated history. So how it started was there was this kid named Jay who approached, and for a little background, my mother specifically owns 4 businesses in Faneuil Hall. During the pandemic, this kid named Jay, I call him a kid. He's a grown man. I have a bad habit calling everybody kid.
I do the
get
same
that.
thing.
Right? You know what I mean? It's a Boston thing.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
So he started a clothing brand called Factory Pieces. Great stuff. You know, he approached my mom. He's like, you know, ma'am, can I sell some stuff on your cart? It just didn't work out because we deal a lot with tourist stuff. So they don't want local brands. They want stuff that says Boston or something like that. So he was around here and there, and he had approached me. You know, I became friends with him, and he was like, then one day out of the blue, literally he was like, hey man, you know, Staples in City Hall has rebranded, and they now have a podcasting studio in there. Would you like to come on and, you know, start a podcast?
And this was what year?
2020.
2020.
This is start of August 2020.
Okay.
Because officially Say That's first episode was October 2020.
So
I think
kind of
dang.
still during the pandemic.
No, dead smack in the middle of it.
Yeah.
100%.
That's crazy. So they were probably dying to get people in there then.
Yes. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
Because they had just rebranded at the top of 2020. Because I believe there is
so tough.
Yikes.
so tough. I believe there's 5 Staples stores, at least in Massachusetts, where it's called Staples Connect, where they have podcasting studios where, you know, anybody, if you want to start podcasting,
Which is
come
really, really cool. Shout out to Staples.
it was
for
dead
that.
cool. 100%.
That's awesome.
You know, they had like as you and may have seen when we started, they had the iHeartRadio stuff on there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We went to the Real
they were a
Relate
sponsor of right, exactly. They were a sponsor of Staples. They weren't an official iHeartRadio thing. It just looked good visually for anybody who went in
Yes,
there.
it did.
Well, to be honest, before I even knew what that was, I remember seeing clips of your podcast, and I was like, damn, these guys are like leaps and bounds. Like,
Right,
ahead of us.
right out of the
Radio.
bat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A month
Damn.
in, we're already sponsored by
Exactly. I
iHeartRadio.
was
Right.
like,
Crazy.
that's pretty fancy.
And you know, to advance the story a little bit, a lot of people went in there and recorded, and that was the first thing they showed, like if they had like their own vlog or something like that. The artist was like, oh, we're in iHeartRadio. What's like,
I'm not going to lie. I posted a picture of the
did.
iHeartRadio microphone.
right, no,
on
right,
my
no,
Instagram.
it looks
Yeah.
good as a visual.
Yeah.
Easy. But so this man Jay, he's like, do you want to, you know, this podcast is going to be called Say That, you know, it's going to be dope. I'm like, you know, because I went to school for communications and my undergrad, my graduate, I'm doing strategic marketing. But at least I'm like, okay, you know, I can actually use my undergraduate degree in communications and do this stuff. So I was like, okay, sure. He then introduced me to my dog, Mike Sanchez. Got to give a quick shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I missed
Right, you
that
guys did it
motherfucker.
together, right?
Yes, we did.
Mike Sanchez.
So Jay ends up not doing the first episode and doesn't do a lot of them. So it was really just me and Mike.
Do you think he was bitter because he didn't get the original, his first name choice of the J That podcast?
That's a good question.
I
no,
just-
no, because he was the first one to be like, let's call it Say That Podcast. I'm like, that's word.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what's up.
And why did he come up with that? Where'd that
I have
come
no
from?
idea.
He meant to say
be
Jay
honest
That,
with you,
I
dude.
know.
I really have no idea. I think
So how'd you come
from
up with the...
immersing myself into Boston culture, like if you said some real shit, you're like, say that.
Yes,
like that type
yeah,
of
yeah.
shit.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
where I think that's where it
So
spawned.
where'd the whole don't say this, say that come from?
Oh, I came up with that.
Well, it's just a play
Okay.
on.
I just
the
came up
Say
with that.
right?
Yeah. I just came up with that. I'm like, all right, we're a brand now. We need our own catchy phrase.
Don't say this,
Say that. You know what I mean?
We don't have a catchy phrase yet,
Right.
dude.
You will
help
you
us
guys,
out.
you- I mean, you have a catchy freaking playlist. You know what I'm saying? That's good as it is.
No, we need a phrase.
Right.
We need a phrase.
No, you'll come up with it eventually.
For
But,
now, it's you know me,
Yeah.
and we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. That's a placeholder.
I mean, your phrase. I will say that. That's a phrase right
That's
there.
our
There you go.
phrase.
There you go.
There we
Boom.
go.
Boom. Right there. Boom. So it's just so funny from the first Say That episode to the current one. Because when we first started, dude, we were doing like all segments. We were like, oh, weekly drops. Like what dropped in fashion this week? Oh, sports news.
Fashion.
You know, we play on this roadcaster right here on like the first one. We used to have a sound effect where it played the da-na-na, da-na-na, like that type of thing
SportsCenter?
to introduce the sports segment and shit like that. Yeah, so we used to do, so you know how I do Gas, Bass, and Mass and Cast now? We used to do a thing called Top 5, Top 5, Top 5, where we play the Drake sound. Top 5, Top 5, Top 5. You know what I'm saying? So the first 3 episodes were so interesting because we would do the segments, then bring the guests in. Then we realized we're like, dude, these episodes are long as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How long?
Oh, like the second episode's an hour 45 minutes.
See, that's
It's not too bad.
long.
We're actually
that's not
just
long
about
for us.
We're
Okay,
almost
but
at that.
we're
Yeah.
having a solid convo right now.
yeah.
I got to admit, back then it was a lot of like scripted back and forth.
We used to try that too. It's very hard to prepare
it
material.
very is.
Yeah.
It
First
really
guest
is.
podcast I ever did before Owen came along, it was me and Easty. We were recording it on a phone, and it was 4 hours with Casso, and he was Mark
Oh, fuck
Vincent
yeah.
at that time. He was not Casso.
Really? I didn't even know that. That's good to know.
Deep cuts if you want to
So-
hear it. Yeah.
Extremely
Yeah.
deep cuts.
That
If anyone
one's
has
only
4
on
hours to
Spotify.
spare, go watch that.
So,
Oh yeah, go
you know,
listen to
me
that.
and Mike Sanchez, you know, after the third episode, we're like, all right, let's just bring the guests in right away. And we did. And ever since then, it's been flowing well. So the reason why Say That left Staples was because towards the end of 2021, it got a little weird. You know, it was me, Mike Sanchez, and our another friend, Alex Jesus. Shout out to him. We were like, you know, do we need like a female co-host? And we're like, not really. We ended
Yeah,
up bringing,
boys rule.
yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Boys rule, girls rule. Boys go to Jupiter to get whatever. Girls go to Jupiter to get more stupid.
Yeah, that's where girls
But
go.
right,
No,
exactly. But you know, we brought this girl in. You know, it didn't really work because she wasn't from here, and the whole shtick was, "Haha, I'm not from here," you know.
Oh, that's gets old
I'm
fast.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah.
Can we
don't
reverse
do
shout
it.
out her? What's her at?
Her? I don't even
If
know.
you guys
Dude.
know who it is,
wait,
sound
no,
out in the
no, no, no,
comments.
wait. She blocked me and Mike.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
No. Here's the reason why. Because she moved to North Carolina and we restarted without her. I'm like, how are we supposed to start with you when you're moving to a whole nother state?
That's crazy. Yeah, what does
That's
she expect?
insane. So I'm like, whatever, you know, you blocked us, whatever. We're moving on. So, you know, obviously, as many of you know, there's the hiatus, which was a big thing because lo and behold, a lot of our episodes at Staples, we've noticed the audio cuts out in some of them. And we literally, yeah, dude, it was bad. It
On
was
the
really bad.
Roadcaster?
Yes. And we don't
Oh,
even notice
no.
because in our headphones, it sounds like it's still going.
Wow.
And then we run back the audio and it's literally just us talking into the camera.
No.
That's
Would
so
know-
annoying.
Dude, it was so bad. Like I feel so bad for the people that have had episodes with us that their audio cut off. More specifically, one of them was Inside the Maze. Believe it or not.
shit,
And another was our guy Sobos, shout out Ant. His second episode coming back on with his whole rebrand and stuff like that. So obviously I feel kind of an obligation to have them back on with, you know, way better studio, way better audio control, cameras and everything. However, towards the end of 2021, we were missing a lot of weeks. You know, we couldn't come together on what we could do and stuff like that. You know, we're like, I personally felt like Say That had 3 different guests, me, Mike, and Alex. I feel like I wasn't getting my takes off a lot. Where, you know, and I can notice that because my friends and family who have listened were like, I didn't really hear you a lot this podcast.
Wow.
I didn't hear,
Oh,
you know what
wow.
I'm saying?
Okay.
So it was a lot of that. And okay, so let's go to December 2021. We're out of Staples. You know, there's too much problems with the Roadcaster. You know, the manager there was asking me what the problems was and how to diagnose it. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, you
That's
know
weird.
what I'm
So
saying?
were you recording? You didn't bring a laptop, right? You just
I
went
did not.
straight to
It was
the
just
SD card.
straight from the Roadcaster in our camera that we had that I use now actually at AOA.
Okay.
So-
And the SD card, you brought the SD card also, or was it in there?
No,
already?
it was in there already.
Something tells me it was just getting written over all the time. That's probably why. But yeah, those SD cards can be a little finicky.
Because at Staples, I will stand on this. We got the most use out of that studio. There were
Probably,
other podcasts in there. We brought the most people there. We got the most use out of it. There was a day because I like to have backlog in case I go, because like I said, I go to Miami next week. I have to have my episodes ready. I'm backlogged 2 episodes. At Staples, there was a day we did 4 episodes in one day.
That's crazy.
And you know what those episodes were? It was Jesus, our guy from Atlanta. It was Zay, our first interaction with Zay. Fucking love that guy.
Z-A-A-Y?
Yes, sir.
That's Zay?
Z-A-A-Y. Don't forget how to live, baby. It was Jeff Porter and David Ryan, who I got to give a shout out because David has to stop yelling.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
And-
glad you said it.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
ready.
I was ready
David-
to say
now
it too.
listen,
David, stop yelling.
Stop
Yeah.
yelling. I'm sick of it.
Dude, if there's
Unbelievable.
one thing that people say about
Inside
you,
voices.
people say that
Yeah,
about
yeah.
you.
Exactly.
They say
They don't
Stop
say
yelling,
yes.
David. Stop.
They
It's
don't
like,
say this. They say
remember
that.
that kid's book, No, David, No? It's like, stop yelling, David. Stop
Yeah,
it.
no.
But I
Um,
think we kind of gave David a real reason to yell because when we first threw a show, I'm sorry, quick interjection.
go ahead.
We first threw our show at the Jungle. It was kind of our first like public thing after the pandemic,
true.
2021. David Ryan came up to me and he said, "Hey, I'd love to purchase one of your Boston's Big Four T-shirts in whatever size," he said.
Yeah.
And I go, "Gotcha. Just a sec." Turned out, at that exact moment, he realized his phone had been misplaced, so he had to go get it. We couldn't link up the rest of the night.
Oh, no.
Never got
I
him.
remember that.
Never got him the shirt. Then a year or 2 later, he did a show at the Crack with us. Got him his shirt there.
Boom.
So
that's a redemption arc.
If
right
you've
there.
seen him yelling, it's probably because he's so excited he got his Boston's
Right,
Big
exactly.
Four merch. And if he was yelling before that, it's because he hadn't
Nah,
gotten
he's
it
been
yet.
yelling for like a good 2 years now. I tell him, you got to use an inside voice. But back to
Pipe
the
down. I'm
sorry,
say
yes,
that-
continue,
back to
please.
the say that thing. I honestly forget the 4th interview that day, but it was, I can confidently say, 4 interviews in one day. So we were backed up till the whole month.
So were you tired? How'd that go? Like, that's a whole day.
Dude.
It's not
The,
just
the,
4
the
hours.
worst thing was the temperature in the room
It's
because
hot
the
in there,
building controlled it and we were sweating bullets. Like there were times where I was like, by the 3rd episode, I was like,
Yeah, the body heat just gathering
I'm
in
like,
there.
yeah,
Oh my
so,
god.
you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, that was tough. So that happens. You know, there were times, and the other thing with Staples was there was times where the guests couldn't come till they were closed, and they were like, "Oh, guys, like hurry up." And I'm like, "All right, he's freestyling, give him a couple minutes."
Yeah.
that type of thing. So I didn't appreciate that, especially for what we were paying them.
Yeah.
So end of 2021 comes, we're all in the consensus like, all right, time to leave Staples. It's done. Whatever, we're done. All of 2022, nothing. No studio. Like I had went to Brockton for the Sound Lab and it would have made sense, but, and this is no disrespect to them because I love everybody there. There's such good people. It's just the drive for me was tough.
Oh yeah.
It's hard.
And-
Yeah.
Exactly. And at the start of 22, by the grace of Noble, I was on the testing lab panel.
Shout out. Noble.
Of course, shout out Noble.
Big shouts.
Former LaSalle graduate as well. One of the best people I've ever met in the scene.
I didn't know he went to LaSalle.
He
My
did.
mom went to LaSalle.
That-
Shout out.
I actually found that out on that episode I interviewed him with the first time,
crazy.
which was such a good feeling for me because it was like, oh no shit, like hell yeah, bro. Like, so you know, so we leave December 2021. The testing lab starts January 22. I'm kind of planning this comeback. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe the Sound Lab. We visit, you know, the drive just doesn't make sense because from the North Shore, even the Boston here is a long drive. That's why, you know, everybody who works there, I shout out to them, I salute them sincerely, especially Devo comes all the way from Lowell down there.
Oh
It's
my
like,
God.
that's it.
Devo?
Yeah,
Dude.
because
Is he from Lowell?
He's from Lowell.
Lowell's
I don't know
crazy.
where
2
he
hours
lives.
from here.
Right?
That's
No,
wild.
exactly. I
Yeah.
don't know where he lives. I'm not going to creep on him and say I know where he
If
lives.
you know his address, sound off in the comments.
Right, but for him to come from at least Lowell to Brockton is a dedication to the craft, and
honestly-
and one of the reasons why he is the best, at least one of the best producers.
Oh
in
yeah, he's
Massachusetts.
incredible. I honestly thought Devo was from Brockton. just
Right,
'cause he's there
exactly.
so
No, a
often.
lot of people do, and like you know, you talk to these guys who work at the Sound Lab. You know, they don't. A lot of them don't live in Brockton.
Yeah.
they really don't.
Like, where's
So-
Clark D from? I'm not even sure.
Mattapan.
Mattapan.
Mattapan?
Right,
Okay.
Mattapan. But anyways, as you know, we're looking for a studio. Lo and behold, we had interviewed Joel Mill, who's the owner of Laced. So he had his store in the Copley Mall, as a lot of people know. In the back, was just like, oh my god. You ever see the back of the Copley Mall at Lay's?
That's where we went to smoke Bulges thing, right?
Also,
That's where you
fun
fact, so you get it.
I cooked seafood paella back there.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, and also,
shit.
we went back there for a Smoke Bulja event, a listening party, and Owen was like, wait, I've been here before.
It
He's
was
like,
a
I've cooked in
cooking.
here.
It was a cooking
shit.
store.
Yeah.
It was called Sur la Table, and I took a class
Sur
there.
le table.
Yeah, Sur la
It's
Table.
impossible.
I was
Shout
gonna
out
say I
South
don't know
Park.
any French, so I'm like Sur la Table.
No, it's sur le table. I only know that from South Park, believe it or not, because
really?
they spoofed it. They were like,
The
it's
most
improbable,
American French
but not
accent.
impossible. So
Free.
in the back of Staples, we had interviewed Joe Mill, and we had wanted to record out of there. There is a Forgotten and Lost Say That episode where we do a test run out of there. It's gone. It doesn't exist
Patreon
anymore.
exclusive.
Right, exactly. It's something like that. It just doesn't exist.
On your OnlyFans.
But unfortunately, they were busy people at the time, and the scheduling and stuff didn't just work out.
Is
and
it still open?
no, see, so that's where it would have kind of been screwy for us because so we would have been in there May 2022. They had left that spot the following year, so we would have been out of the studio again a year later. So in a way, it's kind of a blessing that it didn't work out because they ended up moving to Newbury, and in turn, they ended up closing on Newbury, which is very unfortunate. I like that store and went to Cambridge. So, 2022 goes by, no studio, nothing. Spring 2023, I'm so down in the dumps. I'm like, listen, say that's not coming back. It's done, whatever. Mike Scarfo at Turntable Teachers, AOA Studios in Beverly.
Shout out, Mike.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Mike.
Opens up the studio, and so for that whole summer, I was like, okay, that can work out. I look where the studio is. It's right on the commuter rail. You know what I'm saying? I take the commuter from North Station, get off in Beverly, 10-minute walk from the station. I'm like, okay, that could be possible. Let me do it. Have my meeting with Mike. Turns out, works perfectly. We're in September 2024 now. This episode's recording. Our first episode back was September 16th, I want to say, was the exact. So we're a year later,
Okay.
back in AOA.
You've been back for a year already?
Imagine.
Damn.
Already a year.
That's crazy.
Already a
Time
year.
flies.
I remember when you posted the video, like,
Right.
announcing the comeback. I
Right.
didn't know it was
it's-
that long ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's already been a year. So we recorded at the end of August, but the episode didn't get posted till September. So I consider September the comeback.
Yeah.
But yeah, the struggle with Say That coming back originally was finding the studio space. A lot of people like to think, well, I don't blame them because I have been talking about this, was my school schedule because I did get into grad school at Emerson.
Shout out.
Exactly. Shout out to them.
Shout out Emerson.
Even though I've had
Shout out to you, dude.
Oh,
Shout out to
I
you.
appreciate
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I was gonna say I've had my fair share of fuckery at Emerson, so I don't know if you want to shout them out. But right, you know what I mean?
Shout out you.
Yeah. But the main point was it was a struggle to find a studio that would work out. Because I'm a North Shore kid. Even if I don't have a car, even if I Ubered from Revere to Beverly, it's still not that bad.
Yeah.
But that was the main thing, was just the struggle to find a solid studio, and then like the struggle to really get back in the consistent flow of things. Where when we started, we were like, okay, weekly episodes really don't work for us anymore. And that's fine. As long as we're back dropping on a consistent schedule, that's what matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the every other week thing, that works out perfectly. We used to do every other Monday, and then I was like, all right, let's switch it to Wednesdays, because
No, we drop it on the same days. I also like Wednesdays.
no, Wednesdays are good. Wednesdays are
Wednesdays
dope.
are good.
But you know what I'm saying? I get good viewership even if I drop on the same day as other people.
It
'Cause
really doesn't matter.
It really it really doesn't, because people will support both almost in a way.
Yeah.
And so it's just the grind of things that I really appreciate looking back a year later, because I do this stuff solo now, and whatever Mike's reason for not doing it he has is, I don't blame him. I'm not mad at him. I'm not.
You mean like to be a second mic with you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
but he has his own show, right? So
no. So that's Mike Scarfo. So
I'm thinking
I'm
of.
thinking of Mike Sanchez.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah.
I got confused.
There's a lot of Mikes in my life.
Got
To
too
be
many
honest,
Mikes.
there's a lot of
Too
Mike
many Mikes.
S's
I was
in my
just about to
life.
say, yeah, Mike
Right,
S,
exactly.
yeah.
So whatever is going on with his life, I don't hate him at all. I just don't. That's my dog for a lot of reasons.
Read between the lines.
Sounds like he hates him, dude.
Yeah.
No,
There's
I
some
really
animosity.
no. I really don't.
Sound off in the comments if you think maybe
Yeah.
there's some low key animosity.
Because you know what I mean? Like, it really has made me kind of mature more where I can do these solo interviews. For example, with yourselves, because, you know, we dropped an interview with Ishan. Ishan was our first guest back at the studio because we had dropped our personal episode where we're like, all right, we're back. You know what I'm saying? This is real. We're doing things. Now we're getting back into guests, and our dog Ishan is back. You know, one of my favorite people who I discovered through the testing lab, actually, and then grew to know through that whole year up until we were back. There's a lot of people like that, which I got to take a quick moment to shout out Shah, whose episode I just dropped. Shout out to him. Shout out to Aunt Bell. I don't know if he still uses The Funeral, but he quickly became one of my favorite artists that I can interact with and actually listen to his music. I have to shout out MCI Flow, who came on with Devo for the Champion Sound little, you know, media run they did.
Yep.
And lastly, for at least artists, I mean, there's been a bunch. If you go back over the last year and look at the catalog, honestly, I gotta shout out Muda again. I know I did this again, but Muda actually has a long lost episode that we didn't drop when he went to Staples because the audio file got corrupted. But I'm very glad that he came back and he was able to get in, because that's a guy, like, I wish more people like understood him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people see like the grunge rap and the mask and they think he's a weirdo. Dude, he's not a weirdo. Like, he's just the shit.
He's
Like,
very
he's
nice
the fucking no, dude. That's the other thing too. He's the man. Like, he's such a nice guy. Like,
I met him once.
That's been my thing with just meeting
Was that
people.
at the All Star show?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember meeting him. He was very nice. Yeah.
No, he was
That's my
great.
thing with meeting people, dude. Just go up and talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, just have a quick, hey, hello, you know, I like your music and stuff like
I
that.
said to him, I was like,
he has one, like, since we've been back, I think he has at least a top 3 Say That freestyle. At least in AOA,
Really?
if not ever.
How
no,
many?
he killed that
How
shit.
often do you do the freestyle? Is it whoever
Anytime,
wants to?
so anytime there's an artist that comes on, I ask them, you know, are you comfortable with doing freestyles? If you're not, okay, cool. Because, you know, for example, and this is not a slight on him, Trill Manny didn't want to do one because he's more in his R&B type era now.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know,
He's not a
he just,
freestyle
he
type
just
of
wants
guy.
to sing,
Yeah.
which is totally fine. There's no pressure on you to do one or not. But if you're a lyrical guy like a Big D's who had an incredible freestyle, a C4, an iFlow.
Nobody's gonna freestyle better than Big D's.
No, and that's what I learned like quickly. Like,
Big D's is a punchline king.
unbelievable. Like, you know what
Crazy.
I mean? That's been one of my favorite episodes that I did since
Love that
being
guy.
at AOA. Him and Chairman Chow, shout out my dogs. But if
Shout
you're
out
a
Oak Lone Tree too, new album out now.
100% Feta, go stream that.
Yes.
Number one.
If you are comfortable with doing a freestyle and you want to do one, go ahead. If you're not, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're a pussy, like, whatever, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because it's
not
just,
worth it,
It's
yeah.
not right. It's not
Our
worth
last,
it. It's like,
our last guest didn't want to do one. That was fine.
right, exactly.
Yeah, I did
Don't
put him
matter.
on the spot on the episode. I didn't ask
No, right,
beforehand.
whatever.
But I feel like that's also a fun fact, you guys. You very nearly got a BB4 freestyle on the Say That episode. So
You know, you did. You did. You almost did.
very nearly.
You almost did.
Almost did.
Yeah. And yeah, you
Just
But you know, the whole
just know that Owen and I can rap if we want to.
We can. We
We
can
just don't
spit
feel
bars,
like
yeah.
it sometimes.
and Mike
we got
Scarfa,
bars, yeah.
and I gotta say, Mike Scarfa likes to say like, "Oh, you would have come back in without us." I gotta be honest, we wouldn't, because him, Zafir, and Cam have curated such like a home kind of culture there that it really is like tough to even think about if they didn't start AOA Studios. Because now, you know, they've given me a lot of creative freedom. They have you know, Mindflex, shout out to them. They record out of there now.
Shout out Mindflex.
100%. Great group of people. Actually, shout out to Chase and
I was gonna
his
say, shout out
latest
Chase.
single with
With
Najee.
Najee.
Jane. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Love to see that.
Chase Murphy, right? Yeah.
No.
Yes. No.
Chase. His name's just Chase.
Just with a period.
CHACE.
Period.
There's only one Chase in town, so we're gonna have to
No.
figure that
Poly
one out.
Rev, baby. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
But you know, they at AOA have curated a good working culture, a good, like, in a way, loving environment, because, you know, they're very proud of the three of them, of what they've opened and what they were able to accomplish. I recently had a talk with Mike. He's like, dude, we're so busy now. And I told him, dude, I love to hear that. I want you to be so busy. You know, I want you to have all the blessings you are able to have at this studio space, because you have allowed me not able to come back and do it consistently, where in that podcasting room, that space is now my space, where much like yourselves, you know, you have this nice banner behind you. The next time I drop an episode that I'm not backlogged, you're going to see a new mural of Say That, which encapsulates, you know, the repeat spirit of the North End, Boston sports, Say That. All. Shout out to my guy Prop, who that just shut off, by the way. I don't know if that.
That's okay. We got the
that
the
one
main
right there.
one still on.
That one
Yeah.
right there.
These ones, yeah.
Okay,
These ones
all right,
right now.
fine, that's
that
cool.
one's still going.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
cool. All right, we'll cut this anyways. But anyways, shout out to my guy Prop, who was able to. I met him through Laura Murchie, who originally I met at Laced, and I did my first ever out of studio interview with him at his store on Shawmut Ave. One of my favorite interviews that I've ever done. He introduced me because I seen he has a mural on the wall, and I was like, you know, if you ever seen my episodes, the walls look a little bland. All right, they're like just the things of Boston, this, that, and the other thing. And that's no slight on Mike Scarf. He was like, well, it's like, you know, that's for the clients, but now that's your space, you can do whatever you want with it.
So how does that work though? Because I imagine this is not. There's got to be a rented space, right?
Oh no, it is a rented space. Like I
I
pay him an hourly fee, and I pay him for the editing fee because luckily I don't have to worry about any of the editing parts. He edits both.
And he's able to like paint the walls though in the place.
No, he doesn't. The man Prop who I had mentioned is the artist who's painting currently where the wall where I sit behind for my interviews and where the guest sits behind.
Gotcha.
So when you guys were in there, that stuff has now been taken down, and it's a big mural going up. It's going to be completed by the end of the month. But I'm just thankful for everything taking its place. So, for example, if you would have told me a year ago I would have been on this platform, I would have been like, you know, you're probably lying to me right now. I didn't even think we'd come back. But now that I am, you know, now that, you know, I know where I am in the scene and where people view me as, I'm very thankful. You know, I'm very thankful to everybody I've met. I'm very thankful to everybody who's given me an opportunity to record. I'm very thankful for the people that have come on my show and have shown great interest in coming on my show. It's just so cool to look back and think of, like, you know, I don't want to know what my life would look like without the podcast. I don't, because it'd probably be very boring. It really would be. I'm not a boring person, you know. Mentally, I like to party. You know, I like to go out, have a good time. But
nothing wrong with it.
No, right, exactly. But in terms of the podcast, I like to be social. I like to talk to people. Rest in peace to Anthony Bourdain. He's one of my inspirations in life. He's the type of guy that I love to watch him and talk to people. That's what helps me talk to people, is to just see what he did and apply it to this different thing. Yeah. Because within our scene, a lot of people's first interaction with you is over social media, most notably Instagram. And I remember this with Groovy. I was at a show at Sammy's Patio in Revere that Jeff Porter and David Ryan were performing at. It's my first time meeting Groovy in person. And I go, hey, what's up, man? You know, I had to introduce myself as my Instagram handle. He was like, oh, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I know who you are, bro. I've been dying to meet you. Fast forward to now, he's been on my episode. One of the best guys I've ever talked to. Love that guy. He's
great guy.
Gives me all the hookups in Miami and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's what's up. But at the end of the day, I have to really give a shout out to everyone who's been putting in work within this scene, who's been, like, you know, working together. I've seen a lot of great relationships curate and come to life. Not even just because of, like, they had an episode of my podcast and they discovered it, just on anybody else's, like listening to someone's music or being at the testing lab and hearing, like, oh, I want to work with this. That's how we're going to keep continuing to build this. That's how the scene is going to survive, because yes, we can document these stories, but these people that are working together, these people that are constantly working together at that point, they're going to be the ones that create, you know, timeless music and timeless stuff. So through all that, you know, the origins of Say That and how the story has gone up until this point, I really wouldn't change it any other way.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Dude.
Hell yeah,
Hell
brother.
yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
No, it's great, man. We love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
I am, and this is super off topic, but I just want to clarify.
Yes.
Mike, so his space, it's like this is like an office building space. So you guys are allowed to paint the walls like different from what it is now.
So I had to get his okay to do that mural.
And he had to ask probably the landlords or whoever.
No,
owns the
because
building,
he said even if I decided to move out of there, I just painted over white paint. He's like, it really was
fair.
I just had to ask him if it was cool because me and him, as you have seen, share that same recording space. So, he has to let the paint dry and the paint has to like get the stank out.
What's the mural gonna be?
So I'll give you a hint. So where the guest sits, it's an Italian flag.
Okay.
But the images in it are gonna be like different aspects of
anti-pickleball propaganda.
Oh, trust me. If I could put "fuck pickleball" on one of the walls, I would have, but I can't. But where I sit behind, it's a reflection of like the North End of Say That, of just the culture that I grew up in. Yeah, it's gonna be dope, and I'm excited for people to see it. And there's a lot of people that I want to get in more, so it. Like new people that I have again. Like I gotta give a shout out to my guy from Ipswich, Bouvet. I've been listening to him since 2016. I remember when that motherfucker was Booty Bay. You know what I mean?
Booty Bay.
Yes, dude. That's how I found him, and honestly, that's how sometimes I still want to address him as.
That's hilarious.
But
Booty Bay, B-A-Y or
no,
E?
B-O-O-T-Y B-A-E. Booty Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. He had his song with Young Pitch. I still freaking spin that on SoundCloud. Are you kidding me? But it's just all looking up. It really is. And I didn't have this confidence in 2022 or even in 2023 when we first started. But now that I do, it's just so fucking awesome, dude. Like
I agree with you. Yeah.
There's people from the North End that I go up to them. They're like, I haven't talked to them in years. They're like, how's the podcast doing? You know what I mean? So it's that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's that type of stuff where you can identify, me with that because it is a reflection of myself.
Right.
And it also keeps me in check where I don't have to, get wilding out and say some outlandish shit and ruin the reputation of the pod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
we're constantly worried about that.
No, right.
Don't catch us on a hot mic. You never know.
Exactly.
Owen's worried about that.
No, Jack's right, dude.
Right,
Hey,
I
we
stay
caught you on a-
non-controversial.
Oh, right. Okay.
Listen, Owen's job is rough. I wouldn't be surprised. He's got some reasons to pop off. But ultimately, having a brand that you created and you attach yourself with is so important because it's just you. It's you created that. Even if you don't get big, you created that. It's in the world. You look up in 20 years, if I'm retired, I'm retired. You look up Say That podcast, it exists. The internet's an archive. The internet's the biggest archive on earth. And that's why I'll never, ever, even when I was considering not even coming back, deactivating my Instagram, I never even considered deleting the YouTube page because
keep it up.
I haven't had Jeff Porter and David Ryan back on since Stables, but what if they wanted to go back and listen to that episode from 2021?
Yeah.
They have every right to.
Also, selfishly, what if someone blows up? You got an interview with them.
Right, exactly.
Now it's gonna have
100%.
millions
No,
of views.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to capture these people at that moment in time.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's the story to Say That. And I'm damn proud of it.
For sure.
Hell
And,
yeah.
Honestly, it's obviously not the same story, but it's a similar, I think we're uniquely similar in that we have taken hiatuses. We're back. We're both back now. And it sounds like you, in different words, said what we were feeling this whole time our hiatus was going on. Because we would still go out to shows. We're going to...
Right. I'll still show my love, no doubt.
Always there. Yeah, we're going to the testing lab and stuff. And people would ask about the podcast and stuff. And we're like, yeah, it's not that easy. We got different locations and we're busy. And then eventually this place came up and we realized we could kind of set back up. This is easier to get to for other people. And it just started to seem feasible again. And I mean, personally, I was getting the bug. Like I started missing the conversations, and it has nothing to do with being popular, like the best podcast or anything. But I was like, it's just cool. I've had some of the best times in my recent years of we met these people, we go out to shows. I see people I know at shows.
Yeah.
It's this community. Like we're growing.
I would say like regardless of results, like this is just good for me mentally.
Right.
It's so fun.
It's
Yeah,
good for me.
Absolutely.
It's stimulating.
I-
it's you know what I
that's
mean.
like- I'd
it
say
makes
that's
me feel
even-
fulfilled. Like
Right.
I'm talking to people I would never talk to otherwise.
Hell no!
You know
Like
what I mean?
that, I feel like is one of the most important parts of it.
Right.
Like, and I gotta share a cool story. The Legend Hefe replay. So,
R.I.P.
absolutely. So my first interaction with my first show within the scene, it was the Green Room. I forget who opened, but I can confidently say the rest of the card was the headliner was Replay, which me and a group of friends, that's what we went for.
What year?
2017, July 2017.
Okay.
It was Plaid Finesse, Vintage Lee, Big Lino, and Hefe Replay was the headliner. A lot of people had left before Hefe's set started, and we're like, dude, that's why we're here. We're gonna stay. Turned the fuck up. I got some of my best videos of it. So
Did he play 4 days at that one?
I believe he did. Yeah,
That one was
This
in the
is
vault for a
And
minute.
real quick, this is at the Middle East downstairs.
Okay.
So after the show, me and two of my boys are outside the Middle East smoking a joint, and Hefe walks by with his girl, and he immediately came up, like showed the most amount of love. He was so thankful. He was like, "Yo, thank y'all for popping out." You would dap him, gave him a hug, dap him, gave him out, took a couple pics and stuff like that, and that was like my first interaction with Boston music. From there, it gets to the Booty Bays, the Big Lino, Plat Finesse, obviously from that show, but. Like I said, starting the podcast, you just discover so much dope shit that you wouldn't even think about if you didn't start it.
Right.
And that's what I've said on your podcast was, or at least your episode on Say That was, I would like for the scene to be more in people's face. To be more like when you move to Boston or you come to Boston or you experience Boston. Obviously, we're a sports and history town. But dude, our culture and music and entertainment is so fucking awesome that like I almost feel bad that I had to start a podcast to realize it.
Yeah.
You
People
know?
have no idea. It's weird, like the bubbles you get in, and we fall into it too. Like I'll notice, for example, if you go to like my like YouTube recaps, I have listened to plenty of local music. Also, I'm the type of person where like I usually let someone else take the aux, so my YouTube music is not exactly like representative of what I'm hearing all the time.
Yeah.
But it's just like little bubbles of like so this is just me. I've been listening to a lot of bad bitch rap lately. So it's like
Owen loves Glorilla.
From here?
No,
or like
no,
just in general?
well, yeah, I mean a little bit. Like I love
That
Isha,
too.
I love
Lord
like
Jew.
Shay Band's
Shout out
Jew.
to-
Yeah, I
shout out
love
to
Joy Jew.
them.
It's Jew. She's the best. I was peppering her with anime questions when she was on our
She was great.
podcast. Yeah,
She was awesome.
I mean, you know me, I'm an anime guy.
Right,
But
exactly.
yeah, Owen loves Glorilla.
All your hopes
He loves
and dreams.
Lotto. He loves
Are you kidding me right now? Together we
Listen,
will find
the
everything that we're looking for.
Listen,
There's always room for you.
I'm not caught up on the whole series. I'm only up to like episode like 80. But
Oh my God.
I know the theme song.
Dude, that's the
That's the
the
best part.
theme
Right,
song.
exactly.
Tears in my eyes. The best. It's
Right,
the best.
exactly.
There's always room for you if you want to be my friend.
Right.
We are. On
We
the
are.
cruise.
You guys are losing me. You guys are losing me.
Compass left
Get him,
behind.
nerd. Well, you're in a One Piece and Luffy.
I don't know
But
what
anyways,
we're
as
we
you
were
were
just
saying,
talking about Glorilla and
Right.
Lotto.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then it
yeah.
took a
I love
left turn.
Glorilla. I love when Glorilla said moose knuckle.
Yeah.
I also
No.
love
I know what that means.
Yeah.
Hey now.
it.
Owen and
means
I were
what you
watching-
think it means.
Owen was showing me Glorilla videos like a few weeks ago, right? We're sitting here, we're watching him on the TV. He's like, you got to listen to this. And she said moose knuckle, and I lost it, dude.
It's very funny. Also, it's not just Glorilla though. My favorite ones right now are Lotto. I love
Sexy
Lotto.
Red.
Sexy Red's okay, but I like Lotto. I like
Her
Princess
coochie's
Nokia.
pink and her booty hole's brown.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope. I hope, but you know.
Does she look like Young Thug?
Oh,
Because
interesting.
a lot of people think that.
Oh, who said that?
She did.
She
She even said that.
Oh, then
Oh,
she
damn.
does. Yeah.
All right,
That's
yeah,
okay.
all right,
Yeah.
cool.
If it's vetted,
yeah,
then
if she
yeah.
said it, then yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think my girl listens to Bad Bitch Rap. I'm not sure. But I'm like,
She probably does.
It's fun.
dude.
So the reason I bring that up is because it's like we get caught in our own algorithm sometimes, and I'm
Yes.
trying to listen to local stuff.
Right.
So like if there's people that don't know anything about it, and like we have friends who will be like, "Oh, you had who on the podcast?" It's like to them these are like deep cut, no names, nobody knows, and I'm not
I
saying
know.
that's who you are. If you're listening, I'm just saying that a lot of just the common
to the
folk,
casual
Right.
music listener.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's
Well,
just say, like, they're not going to hear about it, and unless we're around blasting you with our podcast that you might think is annoying. So honestly, fuck you. We're kind of
Fuck
mad.
you.
We're kind of mad at you all who's not
Right.
listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you listen to the clips,
No, right.
that's where you get the local music.
So if
stuff.
you're hearing this right now, then we're not saying fuck you.
yeah,
but,
no,
like,
chill,
No, but like if you're not listening
you're
right
not
now,
hearing
then we
this,
are
then
saying
fuck
that,
you.
right?
yeah.
But
That's
I
how we
like to
feel.
look at that as so I don't compare myself to any other platform in the city. I just don't. I like to think we all serve the purpose of showcasing
I think you're a lot
these
like
artists.
the Adam Blue show, to be honest. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn, we're starting this beef
I didn't know
again?
this late in the show we were going to be starting beef, but I guess
I'm just getting
beef
bored at
again,
this point
motherfucker.
of saying random things.
Right. But
Adam
my
Lee,
point was
Adam Lee Jack just said he could beat you up.
right. My point was
I can beat you in basketball rematch coming soon. Let's
Oh,
go.
that's right. Y'all,
Yeah.
y'all want a rematch. I got winner. I
Like,
want winner.
he's fucking not good, dude.
I
I'm sorry.
would like winner. I'm sorry. I would like winner. I just would like winner.
I'm getting crazy. I'm getting crazy.
There was a video. There's video
There's a
evidence.
video. No,
of
there is video evidence.
Jack
I
being like,
commented on that video, actually. I remember that.
Jack was up by like 7. And then
Up by a lot.
Damn, you let him come back.
I was
Yeah.
not in good
Can't
shape
do
at
it.
that point. I have excuses, but I won't say them.
Right.
Because I'm not, you know.
yeah, there's no excuses.
Yeah, no.
But
excuses.
the point I like to make is like, you know.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Holy
Keep going.
shit,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Okay. So the point I like to make is that I'm not in competition with any platform in the city. I like to think of it as a road. You know, we're all going the same pace. However, to the outside eye, let's just say they come from Arizona, California, whatever, they're going to rank podcasts from the city on who they like more because they're not from here. You know, it's a consumer thing. So that is something, you know, you do have to consider of how you like stack
Also-
up with consumers.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Who from what states did you say?
Like Arizona or California, just for an example.
Yeah. So who from Arizona and California is going to be listening to a podcast about New England music? Because
That is very true.
Maybe they just maybe they just watched the Instigators and they're
I'm
like,
just-
oh,
I'm
there's
just
no
saying.
rappers in
No,
Boston.
We gotta be real
that's
here.
a good point. No, that's a very good
as
point.
New Englanders, are we listening to podcasts that are strictly about Arizona music?
California. No,
Well,
that is
Arizona's
a very
in-
good point.
Arizona's
No, that
in
is a very
Sierra
good
Club,
point.
like,
And it's
I'm not
something
listening
I didn't
to
even
like
think about, but that
I'm
is a
not
very
listening
good
to a
point.
strictly California music podcast.
No, right. No, and
So
that's
I
a
feel
very
like
good point.
what we're putting out is mostly just for people in our region.
Correct. And
Yeah.
that and that's something, and that's a take I didn't even consider, which is why I'm glad you brought it up, because that is a very good point. But ultimately, you know, I don't see myself as competition with y'all, C-Dub, Baffling. It's just everyone's doing their own dope shit in their own dope way.
Yeah.
That it's like you can't help but just love to contribute to just the platform scene or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with artists. You know, some people blow up faster than others. That's the nature of that industry. You know, I'm not in that industry. I can't tell you how that works. I can only, as an observer, see it as it is.
Yeah.
But
In the music industry.
in terms of his platform industry, it's like, dude, like, you know, you get more viewers than me on my own episode. Do I care? Not really. Gonna be honest. Don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful to be here and stuff like that at the end of the day. You know, like the BMAs, which I know a lot of people hold in big favor. If I get nominated or don't, you know, I'm
Yeah.
happy for the people that did.
Yeah.
It's just as
Yeah.
is.
That's
like,
fine.
like
We're
you
beefing
said,
with the BMAs. now.
right.
We're
You know,
pretty
maybe
mad at them.
if I don't get nominated this year, I will beef
I just
with
feel
a
like we
little
don't
bit.
qualify for the BMAs because we're too.
Well, I gotta be honest. Here's my
we
thing
do
with the
other
BMAs.
things.
Here's my
Should we
thing.
all like do like pinky promise right now, really quick, that we're gonna beef with the BMAs?
Yes,
if
I'll
we
do
don't-
it. I'll do it.
Let's do it right now.
I'll do it right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. We are gonna beef so hard at the BMAs. Huzzah!
It's like the Power Ranger thing.
I
Oh!
just stuck my pinky out straight like that, and you
We
guys
just
just hugged
hooked
my
up.
pinky.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
You know me, dude. Pinky hugging.
I think just from a selfish standpoint, where you know I've been putting in work for the last year,
Yeah.
I at least would like a nomination. I don't gotta win. A nomination would be nice because at least for podcasts of the year, they're very repetitive.
Yeah.
Like obviously, you know, C-Dub has won 3 years in a row. They deserve it. Bad for the community
At
deserve
this
it.
point, I feel like C-Dub has bullied them into nominating.
Right? No, exactly. But if they win, if you win,
No, and I'm not
you
saying
can
they're
absolutely.
not. I'm
run
not
it
saying
back.
they're not the best. I'm
That's
just
exactly
saying,
what he's saying.
I'm just saying they post every year on Twitter. Charlie's like, He's like, if we don't win again this year, there's gonna be problems. Then they win.
Burn it down, baby. Burn it down.
Interesting.
But there's a lot of podcasts on there that literally people in the scene haven't even heard of, and they get nominated. So it's like,
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's not only hip hop podcasts, right? So we're talking
I
about
don't even know.
Yeah.
There's an Boston
Music
podcast.
Awards.
Right.
Like,
Well, it's
So,
music in general.
Dude, it's music in general. So think
Okay.
about like the podcasts we're talking about are all hip hop.
Right.
They're only going to nominate like 2 hip hop podcasts at
that's
the most.
true.
Do you
That's
think
true.
there's
Yeah.
even other podcasts though?
Yes, there are. We
No,
just
the
don't
best ones
know
are hip
about
hop, and
them.
everyone knows that
I
they're
gotta
bad.
be honest. I'm gonna say this on camera right now. This year, the nominees for podcast of the year for music should be Say That, Turntable Teachers, CWTFB, Bad for the Community. It's lit.
Bro, if you don't say us, you're fucking kicked off. Dude,
this episode's about to go in the vault, dude.
This is over.
I think because
We're not
because-
posting this.
because even just not with the podcast, what you guys have done on Instagram, you should at least get a nom in some category, whether that's publication
Whatever.
or not, right? Because you still write.
Hey, if they did
because
playlist
you
of the
still-
year,
right?
right?
You still write, blog posts and stuff like that. So-
Occasionally, yes.
So technically,
I wrote one today for you guys know Rob puts in work.
Of course,
you know
I
that
do.
guy?
I've had that guy on my show.
Yeah. Oh, you had
100%.
him on?
Rob Kelly Morgan. Shout out to him, baby.
Yeah. So
Government, full government.
I did a
Wow.
write up. He's having me do every week for the playlist update. He's gonna post it on his website,
That's
and I'm
dope.
doing like a little write up for it. So I did
Yo,
that.
real
today.
quick, I would like to get on Put In Work TV, by the way. I know y'all do the This Week in New England Culture. Please put me, because y'all put
Yeah.
Turntable Teachers. That's my only ask. Just put me.
Here's my question.
Oh,
though.
and please
Yes.
put us too.
So he had me do a write up for their website today, just
Yeah.
for like the. But it just so happens this week Noah Khan dropped live at Fenway Park.
Oh, did
So
he?
like the beginning of my write up is about Noah Khan, and I feel like he's not gonna post it.
No, I think you will, because that still counts
But it's
as
not
New England.
like he's
Right.
mostly
Why wouldn't he
But
post
he's
it?
because he's mostly
because-
like hip hop, R&B.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's just one.
yeah, it's
folk.
just one.
Are
singer.
you kidding me though? Like
Yeah.
Noah Khan's huge. You're not gonna post it?
No, I know.
You want to know some hot take?
Yes.
I don't like Noah Khan's music.
Oh,
That's
okay.
crazy.
So
I don't
I
like
agree.
it.
It's
you guys
funny.
are whack. Dude.
No, no,
Get
I
the
think-
fuck out of
I
here.
think I have a guy. There's this Irish guy called Gareth on TikTok who I discovered, and I think he sings.
Noah
Six
Khan's
Seasons
fire.
better than
Noah Khan's
So-
fire.
Noah Khan does.
I like Stick
I gotta be
Season.
honest.
I can't really get into most of the other stuff, and
Yeah,
I
you
tried.
Can't at all.
I like
Whatever,
Stick
dude.
Season.
I like
because-
about 40 songs by him. So
I gotta say, Post Malone's new country album fucking slaps though.
Interesting.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna co-sign that, but not no, that's fucking wild.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No. Hey, it is what it is. I just I didn't. I tried. I really tried to like Noah's music.
did too.
I
I just
wanted to. I was
don't.
like, because I really liked Stick Season. And I was like, this does actually like speak to me in ways, And I was like,
Bro.
I can't listen to the rest of it. I like Dial Drunk a little bit, but
No.
not really.
What about She Calls Me Back? Have you heard that one?
Nah.
Yeah, see, so many good
Nope.
songs you guys don't even
No.
know about.
Nope.
It's wild.
I feel like I had another point I was going to
Noah
get to.
Khan
but forget
literally
about it.
runs New England right now.
But but in courtesy, shout out to Rob because he's another former Say That guest, and actually a guest I would like to have back at AOA. But that is dope that you did the write up for him and stuff like that.
yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, just get me on Put It Work, TV, get on hit New England now, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's my point. It's like, there's so much dope shit that different people are doing. He's actually one of the owners of DAP right now, Dorchester Art Project.
He does a lot
Along
of
with Haas,
things.
too.
I just started doing like a lot of research on him since he reached out to me, and I was like, damn, this guy does a lot.
Dude, he calls himself Rob Puts in Work for a fucking
Yeah,
reason.
I mean, if you're gonna call yourself Rob Puts in Work, you better
Right,
be
yeah.
putting in work.
You better be.
right. And I think you should get him in on this season.
Oh yeah, we have to.
Easy.
We have
easy.
to.
We go toe to toe
But
to
yeah,
see who
but
puts in
that's
more
my
work.
thing. It's like towards the end of the Say That's run, that's a guy who I just happened to like come across. I'm like, yo, this guy's fucking fire and stuff like that. So I think the more you indulge in the scene, like the more people you just, as someone who runs a platform, there's more people you want on. As much as you want to bring your boys back on, it's like there's just so much cool motherfuckers that I just want to have on and talk to.
Dude, the list of people I want to have on is so long.
So
it's
long, which is
overwhelming.
why it's like I drop 2 episodes a month. It's like,
we're getting Sammy Adams on soon.
oh, no fucking way.
No, we're trying to.
Oh,
We're
you guys
trying
gotta
to.
do that. That's one for the culture.
No,
We're
sorry.
gonna bleep that, but yeah,
no.
he's
down.
No,
but
we're gonna bleep it until he officially comes on. Then that'll be a deep cut.
Nah,
clip.
that's if that isn't one of your most popular episodes, I'm gonna be shocked.
Honestly,
because that is like the OG like Boston.
But a
rapper
lot of
kind
people
thing.
in like
I don't think so.
People in the Boston actual hip hop scene don't fuck with Sammy Adams.
I
Really?
don't
Either, yeah.
Why,
I
though?
don't.
Why do you think?
'Cause
I
he
think he was
never-
at Clout Boy. I think
So he never like was part of the local scene really.
No,
at
he
all.
was not.
He
No,
just
he was
went
not.
from like college dorm to superstar, and he never like mingled with the local people. So people don't feel like a connection with him at all.
Well, you know
Okay,
what's
that makes
crazy
sense.
is I had an argument with somebody recently that was like that, and I mean this is me arguing from the perspective of like we know a little bit more than probably these people who are arguing,
which
with
we
me.
do.
no, definitely.
Yeah. So I'm like, someone's like, oh yeah, like Chris Webby, what's he doing these days? And I was like,
That's
Chris
true.
Webby's actually active. Like he is
Yeah.
like, putting
He's
stuff
constantly
out,
putting shit out.
and he's touring, like and
Yeah.
selling things out.
And
So-
Justin Clancy's usually with him.
with him, exactly. And Justin's growing gigantic. He's gone. We've seen Justin go from like a few thousand followers to he's in the tens now.
No,
like,
And like
He's
a
almost
lot of
at
that has
30,
to do
I
with
think.
Chris Webby. for
yeah,
sure.
that tour has blown him up. So, anyways, so Chris Webby has loyal fans that show
like
up.
very loyal.
Yes.
Sammy Adams,
Does not.
He couldn't fill
Really?
out. I don't think he could fill a venue.
Interesting.
Basically, he might. Let's just say, for example, I bet
It would
if
be
you
it would be
blasted
like
it to
a
the
lot of
colleges-
33-year-old women. That's all.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
well, the girls
Yeah.
liked him, but
Well,
I
bec-
didn't.
yeah,
like him.
because
Like,
a lot
I
of
mean,
his stuff dropped in the early 2010s and stuff like that. So all
And
those people are in their
pop.
30s
It
now.
was not
No.
rap. It was pop.
Like All Night Longer
Yeah.
is a pop song.
Well, he
Yeah,
also
and
his
that's his
biggest
big
song
one.
is the. Oh, I was gonna say the
All
biggest
Night
one was
Longer.
the,
All Night
the
Longer is
remix of I hate college. Was
that was
right?
his first big song.
Yeah,
but his
yeah.
biggest one is
It's
All Night Longer.
Which is still
I
a
can't
banger
remember,
now.
but I'm.
Tell that bartender, turn the motherfucking
stronger.
I wanna go all night longer. Couple rounds going down like water.
I wanna go all night longer.
Great song.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
no, it's a great party song. It is a fantastic party song.
Sammy Adams, if you do come on, this is just, this is all for fun. Maybe I'll like you
Yeah,
someday.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
You've
that
been
when it comes
driving
to
me crazy.
I do remember this. Yeah,
Can
is
you
that the
be
same
my
song?
baby, driving me crazy?
I think that's a Justin Bieber song, but
No, it's the Sammy Adams song.
No,
agree to
Sammy
disagree.
Adams, Boston boy, Matty Trump.
Boston's boy, no way. By the way, no
Yeah, first
way.
of all,
Not
he's from
anymore. Not
Cambridge.
anymore.
He was from
right,
Cambridge.
Right, exactly.
But
But
oh, and thank goodness Millie's has made that distinction. Also, I disagree as well. I think Boston Cambridge is the same shit. So
I gotta be honest.
it's like so close. That,
Yeah, it's just
so
so
close that
close.
getting mad about it is ridiculous.
right. It's
crazy,
like
yeah.
it's like you're only mad about it because
Like,
like
when people
you went
say,
to
"Oh,
Harvard."
Millie's isn't from Boston," I'm like, dude,
Nah, dude,
Millie's
Millie's-
can walk to Boston in 2 seconds.
Not
Like,
only
it's
that, you can see Boston from Harvard. It's right
Oh,
across
yeah.
the water.
Yeah.
Like,
same
are
shit.
we're getting mad over a bridge? Like, come
It's
on.
insane.
Like, let's get real here. But yes, yeah, I think the only way you can't say you're from Boston is if you're from like Lowell or Brockton, which is like an hour
or
away.
no, or if you're from North Shore, South Shore,
right?
that's
No,
not
exactly.
Boston.
No, it's not Boston at all.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think the whole "I'm from Boston" thing
and no,
is
Cambridge is not Boston either. But I'm just saying,
but
like,
it's closer than like most would people.
I
would
hate
think.
when like people talk about who if like someone says who are the best Boston rappers right now, and someone says Millie's, and people are like, no, he doesn't count. No, he does count.
No, he does count. No,
He absolutely counts.
absolutely
Yeah,
does
yeah.
count. Absolutely
Yeah.
does
well,
count.
it's also like I mean, it's I almost wanted to say like how many venues are in Cambridge, but there's the Middle East, so that's like
There's
the
Middle
biggest
East.
one.
There's
But
Middle
also
East, that's
people
it.
kind of
And
But also like who's our representative right now? Like sitting courtside at the Celtics games.
Right,
Like, it's
exactly.
Millie's.
No, it's
Oompa,
Millie's.
sorry, he's not from
Right,
Boston.
but
also
Oompa
Oompa
too.
Nate
No.
Speaks. They do halftime shows. That's
But I
correct.
say like as far as like the cloud, like Millie's is in the big rooms and everybody sees
Yeah.
that, so that's why. And
Right,
it's not
and he
saying
reps
Oopa's not,
Boston,
but you know.
just
No, he
like
reps Boston
anyone from
hard.
Cambridge
Yeah.
would rep Boston. There's
Just-
no, there's
yeah,
no
it's like, what are you
Cambridge
going to
NBA
represent
team.
Cambridge? Like, right, yeah.
Yeah, but he does though. He
And he does.
No,
He
he specifies Cambridge, but other people call him Boston.
He makes
And
it known that he's from Cambridge, but I think if you're in the greater
love to talk to him.
Boston area.
Oh, actually, yeah, we've been trying. Actually, Millie's, come on.
I just would love
Bryce,
to talk to the guy.
help
It's
us.
not even just from like a clout
Yeah.
sucking thing. I just would like to talk to the guy.
No, we do, and also we want to, clarify. Millie's, how old are you, dude? We're pretty sure you're.
I think it's late.
No, he's in his late 30s.
I
if
know
you
that, but
Google
he's
it, it
lying.
says he's like 32 or 33, which
I
is
Yeah,
don't
crazy.
think
it's not true. But and it's crazy because we're 19.
Which is no diss on
and we're-
him. It's just I just don't think the Google age says is correct.
He'll never come on if he hears this. But I'm just saying, if we, dude, tell the truth. Just come on and tell the truth.
How old are you?
Yeah, that's how we all feel right now.
We all
It's
know
like
how
that
old
Family
he
Guy
is.
episode.
It's
They're
not
trying
that
to
hard
find
figure out.
Brian's.
We do.
It's
know
not
that.
that hard to figure out. There's articles about him from like 2009 stating that he was 23 years old at the time, I think, or something like that.
Fake news,
So,
baby.
yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do the math.
people said he was 23
But yeah,
at that time.
At the end of the day, that you know what I'm saying?
They said he was 23. I can't do the voice.
That's Massachusetts, baby. Like, see, that's why I like y'all playlists because y'all just cover like every aspect of it. Like, like this week, you put Noah Cahan's live from Fenway stuff
Yeah,
on
you
there.
said it right the first time.
Yeah,
No, it is
Yeah,
Con.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is
it's
Con. Okay.
Scott.
Also, Jack finds the deep cuts. I want to give Jack.
No,
that
he
credit.
does.
He knows.
But
But
you
no,
also
one thing
put
I will
like
say-
Isha's stuff on there,
Okay.
Muda's stuff.
One
It's
thing
like,
I will say, right, this is strategic. I put the biggest artists at the top.
correct,
always.
which you should.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
There's no
Noah
problem
Khan
with
dropped
that.
something. I'm putting him at the top.
No.
Bia, Cousin Stiz, Millie's. I put them at the top because if someone's who is not familiar with the local scene is scrolling through and they see a bunch of names they don't know, they're going to keep scrolling. But if they see like, oh, Noah Khan's at the top. Oh, I don't know the rest of these guys. Let me see who they are. Like,
No, that
if
is
you
very
associate the not so well known artists with the really well known artists, it'll make people take them more seriously.
No, right.
So that's
And if you
kinda what I'm
comment
trying-
clout chase under this video, you'll get a subscription to our course on how to make sure that you know how to social media manage.
I'm just
Comment
saying.
clout chase
Hey
underneath this
now.
video.
I'm just saying this is how it works. I think that people, the lesser known artists on that list, when they see that Noah Khan's at the top, they should be happy to know that they're on a list with a Grammy nominated
Correct.
artist.
Correct.
Like that brings their
This is
status
another
up.
question I want to ask y'all because I didn't ask it on your episode on Say That. How many artists hit you up being like, yo, let me get an episode, yo, let me get on the playlist, stuff like that?
Too many.
There's been a
Too many.
there's a few people that like. So
Jack was like, all right,
Yeah,
too many,
yeah.
no.
We like
I am
to
Walter
give people
Cronkite.
chances, and giving people chances, I think, is like what part of the platform is.
Yes.
you know?
I'm
we
really-
don't just want the clout; we also want to grow
Right.
artists that are popping.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but the problem with that is, and it's not. I mean, it's a problem that just comes with it. It's not like. It's not like a problem with people specifically. I want to clarify that. But what happens is like
We can't say yes to everyone.
No, you
yeah,
can't.
and people will
You
find
can't.
you in person and
I
be
learned
like,
that the hard
hey,
way.
I
Yeah.
want to do a podcast. And you're kind of like, yeah,
Yeah.
we will.
No, there are a lot of people that.
And if we haven't hit you up, it's not because we don't want you on. This is like a...
No,
this is a
No,
crazy,
this
like,
question was not just
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
tell on people. It was just because I get it a lot.
But we
too.
also
I'm
like we
dude,
can't be
like-
worried about hurting people's feelings because like
There's a vetting process.
We're
Right.
going
Yeah.
to turn some people down.
No,
I'm
we
sorry.
are.
It's
Easy.
just the way it goes. We're getting too many
Like-
requests.
Well, 2 episodes a month, that gives us 24 a year. There's
Yeah.
way more than 24 artists in the
Right,
city. So
exactly.
like, there's just like, you can't get everybody.
Exactly.
you know, and if you're asking to come on, and really it comes down to the quality of the music first and foremost.
Easy.
Like easily number one
Easy.
thing overall. If I listen to your
Easy.
music and I don't think it's good, I don't want you on the podcast
because
Like,
you don't
that's-
want to represent the scene wrong. And honestly,
Right.
Charlie Machine said that correct. He's like, he's had to tell friends no.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
And I don't care if you have 12,000 followers. Like,
Right,
if your
I
music
don't give a
sucks,
shit.
first of all, I'm going to assume you bought those followers because your music sucks. So, and
And
I'm
you
not
can
getting
see
you
it.
on.
You can see
can
it.
see
no,
it.
you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it.
And like, we're not professional musicians, but we listen to music religiously to the
Right.
point where we know what good music sounds like.
And not
I
only
know
do you
what
listen
trash music
to
sounds like.
music religiously, you listen to music from here religiously.
Religiously.
So you know who's good and
I
who
know
isn't.
who's good and I know who isn't. I know what sounds good and what doesn't.
Right.
And there's certain stuff that like I don't think sounds great, but I understand a lot of other people like it, and I can identify what those sounds are, and I'm like, all right, I don't really fuck with this, but I could see a lot of other people fucking with it. And then there's some stuff I hear that I'm like, I I can't see anybody fucking with this, honestly.
No, right, exactly.
So then I just don't post it. Yeah.
It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. Hey.
And we're actually back on the
I
pod.
know, I saw you started recording. That was sneaky. He started recording while we were singing. I saw that.
Yeah, for you guys don't know, we're having a candid conversation, and we broke into It's a Small World, and it was the perfect place to jump back in.
Yeah, we're actually
but
taking
I
over
just-
Disney World.
Yeah, can't wait.
Anyway, we were talking about how people in Boston need to stop overrating Dunkin' Donuts. All right, you don't have to pretend you like Dunkin' Donuts just
don't
because you're from
anymore,
Boston.
dude.
It's
and also,
ridiculous.
yeah, there's
Can
a
I
cheap
say
coffee
something
place.
about that? You don't have to like something because it's from Boston.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
And I feel like a
people
lot of
just
people
feel like they
I
want to
feel-
fit in so badly.
Right, exactly.
Oh, it's
I feel like a
terrible.
lot of people like stuff because it's Boston.
Don't
and
tell
it
Mark
isn't
Wahlberg.
good.
They're just trying to
But
be.
I mean, that's an example. It's like, dude, like
Yeah.
the balance between Mark Wahlberg and Ben Affleck and Damon is so vast. Like they're just so much better actors than he is. And even with like music and content, it's like just because it's from Boston, you're from Boston, dude. You do not have to like it. It's like it's better if you don't. It really is. It's better if you see something from Boston and you don't like it and you're from Boston. It's better if you hate it and it is from Boston. It really is because you're more critical of what you want out of the state or the scene. Because I mean, I see it all the time.
We got to
dude.
stop saying that Dunkin' Donuts makes good coffee. It's
They
ridiculous.
don't. They do
Let's
not.
hold them
I-
accountable for the
No,
awful coffee that they're making.
It's very bad. Like
I don't think people think it's good coffee, right? It's just like a nostalgic
Well, and
thing.
this is
Yeah,
well.
but-
Here's the thing. From my girl and what she has said, she works in Quincy and she has said that she gets people from out of town and they're like, "Oh, we're here for the original Dunkin'," and she's like, "Dude, it's not good."
It's the
same
same as all the other
It's
Dunkins.
the same as exactly. Sold me a soda. It's literally it's the same as every Dunkin'. So it's like, who cares?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I encounter tourists 24/7.
Yeah.
I sell stickers that say Dunky Junkie on it with a cup of coffee.
Gross.
You're part of the problem. We're sending you back.
Listen, I'm taking over the market one way or another. But so I sell stickers both big and small. I actually don't have one on my phone so I can show you the size. But however, the Dunky Junkie one sells out the most.
That's
thought
ridiculous. I hate that
I've
so
had
much.
people
I hate
ask
that.
me for magnets of it, and I'm like, and I have people that can make me custom magnets. But as a salesperson, you kind of have to feed into that,
Of course.
just
yeah.
to make
Yeah,
money,
of course.
right? But
You're making
but
money,
as
yeah.
a local, you're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like that ESPN commercial.
Support your
Come
local
on,
coffee
man.
shops.
Would you rather sell out with like the next smiley face type T-shirt, but it's Boston related, like something that's just like a viral
No.
shirt that everyone buys, or be in a Marvel movie?
I'd 100% give me a Marvel movie. Easy, give me a because the thing with Boston is, and we actually had this conversation before we.
These are chicken nuggets. That was our 2-minute warning. So.
All right, I'll
got chicken
wrap
nuggets
this up.
already.
I'll wrap this up.
My
Okay.
bad. That was my fault.
Also, this podcast has gone on really
Right,
long.
this-
guys.
'cause it's
No,
good
it's been a
stuff.
good one. It's been a good one.
It's
No,
good
it's
stuff,
been
right?
great. I'm just
it's
saying,
great stuff.
like-
it's already 12:30 at midnight at the time of recording. I thought it was like 10. But anyways, so
Tuesday
give me
night,
the
folks.
Marvel movie instead because I feel like people view Boston accents as like a circus act, and they're like, "It's so funny how they
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
pronounce their R's and stuff like
Yeah.
that."
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's so like different. Of like, dude, like I'm not a
I
fucking.
also want to
circus
hate on
animal,
this
dude.
one guy from Rhode Island. His name is Ian Brownhill.
Fuck them.
You know,
Fuck. I don't know him. Fuck them.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
Fuck them.
So he's gone viral like on Instagram for making these. He had a clearly fake Boston accent. He's from Rhode Island.
Sounds
People
like
from
Everyday
Rhode-
Maggie.
No, you don't.
People from Rhode Island don't
Did you
speak
just
like
mention
this.
the Maggie?
Everyday Maggie. Everyday. Oh yeah, fuck everyday
bro,
Maggie too.
She fakes it big time. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
big time.
listen. The reason why I say that is funny is because one of my boys from the North End, who's probably my cousin, because everyone from the North End is either your cousin or your friend.
Yeah.
C Money 617. He
Oh, I
makes-
know C Money
I love
617.
that.
Wait.
That's
He's your cousin?
yeah, that's my guy. Like
Like
that's
for
legit.
real?
Yes.
Like your cousin?
Yeah. That's my guy. So he makes videos with her.
I like C Money 617.
and I'm like, cuz I'm like, she's like,
She sucks.
sucks.
But the
It's
thing
not
is,
funny, yeah.
the thing is,
it's not funny. It
Yeah.
one thing I
funny.
will give her is like I feel like even she knows she sucks.
Yes,
she
But
just
she
kinda-
doesn't
yes.
care.
She leans
My
into it.
problem is
So
they
I'm
don't
like,
care.
all right,
If
whatever.
you cared, That's one thing you don't care. It's like
Yeah.
stop, time up.
No, but this dude Ian Brownhill, he's in a
Okay, but go
commercial
ahead,
with
yes.
Papelbon right now. Like where they're both in the car. Have you seen
What are
it?
you doing, J-Pat? No,
And
I
he's
haven't,
like-
but I'm
And
disappointed
he's
in
like,
Papelbon.
he's like, so in the beginning of your career, you were a starter. He's like, but then you ended as a closer. How'd you get to be a closer? And he's just like, stop doing that, dude.
Stop it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Stop. Literally, no, it's like, literally stop. Oh, we don't pronounce our R's. Oh my God.
You're from Rhode Island, bro.
Yo, like literally, I'm about to call racism.
Some
low-key.
people,
I'm
there's
gonna
some
call
people that
discrimination.
actually have that accent.
But you can tell when it's fake. You
But
can tell when it's fake.
You can tell when it's fake or when they're hamming it up.
Yeah.
But because some, like, for example, like my parents grew up having Boston accents. My grandparents are like from Dorchester, have Boston accents. My parents don't talk with a Boston accent because they kind of like corrected it after growing
Interesting.
up.
That's very
But
interesting.
I
So-
grew up without one, but sometimes people have told me I have one, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Same. When I went to college in
So-
Pennsylvania, people told me I had a Boston accent, and I was like, I really don't.
wanna know
like, I know
something
people
fucked
who
up?
really have
Yeah.
a Boston accent.
So there was one time I was visiting my uncle in Chicago, and I was making my way back to Boston. I was walking through TSA. The TSA lady goes, "Oh, you're from Boston?" I go, "Yeah." I go,
I love your tourist voice. That's hilarious.
right? So this is when I'm like 12, let's just say. I go, she goes, "Oh, say park the car in Harvard Yard." I'm like, I literally,
Nothing ends a conversation faster.
I was like, "Park the car
no-
in Harvard Yard."
Yeah.
Or
I'm
you
like,
did it.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Because it's like, just get me through fucking TSA, dude.
Oh,
Like,
that's true.
I'm
She has
sorry.
authority.
Like, yeah, it's like, stop. But that's my thing with like the circus monkey elephant thing. Is like, dude.
Also,
We're
there's
just
no
people.
parking. There's no parking
There's
in
nothing.
Harvard Yard, dude.
It's like, where does
It's a
that
yard.
come from? Like,
It's
just
a
because
yard.
it's
There's
an
no
arcade.
parking lot in
There's
there, man.
nothing.
It's
There's
crazy.
no parking at Fenway. There's no
You
parking at
can't try
Harvard.
to drive a car.
I'm like,
Try to drive a car into Harvard Yard and see what happens.
Yeah, go find fucking parking, dude. You're not gonna find anything. All right, dude.
do,
You wanted me to say a Boston fucking accent?
Yeah. Your car will get fucking
my
towed,
God.
all right? They gotta pick it up the next morning. All right, it wasn't worth it. Okay,
Yeah.
you parked your car in Harvard Yard. Look what happened, sweetie.
It's like, listen, that's the other thing with like America. I get there's regional dialects. You don't gotta make it a big fucking thing about it.
No,
Like you don't. Like people from New Orleans, I know how they sound. Like people from the South know how they sound. You know, Midwest, I get it. It's like I'm not going there and I'm like, "Oh, dude, say this phrase in your accent. It's so funny." I'm like, "Fuck off, bro."
Yeah, just be
Like,
like, tell a
I'm trying
Wisconsin
to get
person
my
to be
money.
like,
I know. I was gonna say. I was thinking about going to
you
the
want to go to
Midwest
the
and be like,
Packers?
say
You want to see the
Minnesota.
Packers at the
Say
Lambeau
Minnesota.
Field, bro? Say Minnesota.
you're just like over and over again. Just, say Minnesota.
Say Minnesota.
Say Minnesota. Say Minnesota.
Yeah, but ultimately, this is my message to people who visit Boston. Stop telling us to use our accent.
Yeah.
Just stop, please. We're normal people just like you. We're not circus animals. Enough is enough. All right, we're